Ah, okay. Wait a minute. Forgot to keep down my camera. Wait. Okay. Ah. Ah. Okay. Very nice. Wait a minute. Okay. The angle looks good. Hmm. Okay. Wait. Okay, let me louden the volume a bit. I think this is okay. Okay. So, we're gonna continue with Tears of Themis today from where we stopped. Oh my. Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Oh. Wait, I'm still not that familiar. Okay, wait, we're just gonna claim. Okay, then that's the survey. Rookie tasks. Oh, okay, we got 2 visions. And I see. Okay. Yeah, I was trying to... I didn't really get the whole, like, skill thing. But I don't know, maybe I understand it now. I'm not sure though, but so some of them reduce... Some of them are like attack skills and some of them are like defensive skills. Apparently. I'm still working this out. I haven't really upgraded our cards that much. I hope that's okay though, because I think the next event is gonna be like the next story. We're gonna like fight someone, so hopefully it's okay. But for now, let us hey, let's just wish in the event. I don't think I'll get anything good, so I'll just skip. Okay. And then I think we can just save. I'm not sure how often we'll get these chip conversion things, so I don't wanna... Are they new cards? Oh, upgradable. Okay. But I'll just enhance. I'll like upgrade the ones that can be upgraded, and then the rest of them... Okay. I think we can just start. Right, there's nothing else to do, right? I'm like still kind of confused. Okay, let's just start. And we have to fight though, this thing. This guy, meddling young man. Some upstanding youths are spraying insulting graffiti on the restaurant's windows. Despicable. So the boss is... Oh, I forgot the triangle already. Okay, wait, but what does this do? Power optimize. Okay, you know what? Never mind. I'm not that experienced in this building thing now, so for now we'll just... Oh my. Oh my, it's loud. Ah. Okay. You can't hide food poisoning, so let me just go with a... Can we go with this first? Oh, okay, we can choose. So let's just go with a simple... Okay. And then we can go with a... This. Then we can go with this first. Hello, hello. Hi, Sai. We're continuing with the Tears of Themis right now. Oh. But yeah, I'm fighting a boss right now. I'm still not that familiar with how things go in a fight, but like... yeah. Oh no. Okay, I guess I will just... like this. Did I do it though? That is all. Right, they just said that is all. What first clear? And what are these two? Is it second and third clear? Because there was another one, right? There was this thing here. First clear, second. Okay, wait. Let me just try one more time and see whether we get a different reward. Interesting win text. Right, they're just like, that is all, and then they just shut you down. They're like, I... So apparently, let's... Uh-huh. Huh. Wait a minute, let me just... Huh. Okay, I don't exactly know what this whole thing is about. I'm still slowly trying to understand what each of them are. But I know that green is stronger than blue. That's how I'm going with this right now. So as long as we choose green cards, I assume, then we'll win the blue. Like, I don't know the names. Intuition, I think, empathy, and some in. That is all, nothing more to add. Oh, do we? No, I don't get it. Okay. I don't... I guess you just clear these things to get like more money, I assume. Then you can... Oh, okay. And you have cards here and stuff. So I guess you can just choose what cards you want to upgrade. I think we'll just take it slow for this at least, because I'm not too sure. Like, there's a lot of things, like, right, there's like defense and there's like attack cards. Like apparently the one with the lips is like attack boost, and then the one with the shield is more for like defensive stuff. And then based on that, you gotta like yeah, like arrange stuff around and stuff. Kind of complicated, but it's okay. We'll just go to the main story. Let's continue. So now we're at the restaurant. Well, Winnie takes the blood pressure monitor off of Vernon's arm and puts it away. Oh, let me bump up the volume. Winnie, there's no need to worry about me.
餐厅卫生不行，让顾客吃出了毛病，这是实打实的事儿。你叫了侦探来查，也翻不了案呢。
My customers got food poisoning after eating at my restaurant. Hiring a detective won't change this fact.
唉，还是跟爷爷说说你上学的事儿吧。什么时候开学啊？
Tell me about school. When does the next semester start? While reviewing the measurement history on the blood pressure monitor, Winnie's hand stops. She turns towards Vernon, eyes slightly teary. Is it something bad? Is something bad happening?
方爷爷，
Yes, Grandpa Vernon. What happened?
您是不是瞒了事了？
Are you trying to hide something?
什么瞒了事？欣然，爷爷听不懂你说什么。
This is kinda sus. Grandpa, are you hiding something? Because in the previous investigation, some stuff didn't add up. Hide something? Winnie, I don't understand what you mean.
刚刚给您测的心跳、血压，都比前2天要好。
Oh no. Your heart rate and blood pressure just now was better than the past few days. Grandpa, are you lying about your health? Are you actually fine?
刚才在楼下，您是故意的吧？
Were you
故意装出难受的
pretending
样子，
to be ill
只是
downstairs
不想回答他们的问题。
so you could avoid answering their questions?
欣然，我
Winnie, I what? Grandpa, what's happening?
您到底在瞒着什么啊？这次的事故可是关系到餐厅能不能继续开下去啊！
What are you hiding? This incident could very well drive the restaurant out of business, right? That's kind of scary. Grandpa says, right? Like, he's trying to hide something, definitely. But like, what? What are you trying to hide, Grandpa? Vernon is stunned for a moment, but then lets out a long sigh.
我也是没有办法呀。
I don't have a choice. What do you mean, Grandpa? What do you mean you don't have a choice?
这事儿说来话长。
It's a long story. Just say it then, Grandpa. What do you mean by it's a long story? Okay, so we're back at our perspective. So Luke's preliminary test results show that something isn't adding up with the fingerprints and insecticide powder. Business is going under, maybe insurance, right? Or like someone is like forcing him to destroy his restaurant in exchange for something, maybe. I'm not sure yet. Maybe Luke and Arthur were right in suspecting that there's more to this food poisoning incident. Oh, definitely.
孤立地看每一个物证，都不能获得改变事故性质的绝对证据，但交叉对比后就会发现疑点。
Each piece of evidence by itself seems innocuous. However, putting them all together tells another story. Blackmail from another shop, right? Maybe he's being like blackmailed or something. We're not too sure yet, but like definitely there's something going on. true. For instance, the insecticide that contaminated the spring water wasn't the bug out that Mr. Green bought. Bug out is an insecticide that isn't toxic to humans. Let me guess, the crystal on the water dispenser are a match with insecticide 330.
没错，抽水器中的药粉明显含有对人体有害的成分，与我在网上查到的灭虫330的主要成分一致。
Okay, so after cross-checking online, the toxic chemicals detected in the crystals match those in insecticide 330.
而且我拆分了抽水器，在滤芯中发现了大量药粉残留。
Okay, I also took the dispenser apart and found a large amount of chemical residue inside the filter.
这也可以解释为什么抽水器出水口位置会有药粉结晶了。
This
因为药物
explains.
浓度足够高了。
I'm sorry for interrupting you, Luke. This explains why there are crystals present. The chemical concentration is alarmingly high. That's kind of dangerous though. Like it's kind of scary to like think of ingesting toxic insecticide. More Themis. Hi, Dolphin Burp. Yeah, we're playing Themis today. Sit back and enjoy your stay. So that means any water that went through the dispenser would get contaminated. This also means it's nearly impossible to spill insecticide into the dispenser by accident, so the act was intentional. And definitely, how do you like accidentally spill like insecticide into the spring water? Because clearly the spring water container is those that you find in water dispensers, so usually you have to plug it in to the water dispenser to like, you know, get anywhere. So that's kind of sus.
那么，是否可以确定，顾客入院的原因就是食用了被污染的山泉水？
In that case, were the customers hospitalized because they consumed contaminated spring water? Let me think. Reviewing all the evidence we have should give us our answer. Oh, okay. Okay, you've collected quite a number of clues. They don't mean much unless you can find the connection between them. Here is the dilemma we need to solve in this analysis. Are the customer's poisoning symptoms consistent with the poisoning symptoms of insecticide 330? Choose two clues from the following list that you believe are connected to the to solve the current dilemma. Okay, we need the medical report. Oh, okay. Okay, they'll do it for us. Okay, contaminated spring water and customers' medical report. Oh, cool. Okay, find connection. Connection found. Wow, we can. Okay. According to their medical reports, the patients had abdominal pain. Hey, yo. Okay, pretty much the symptoms are consistent with those of insecticide poisoning.
那就可以肯定，本案并不是普通的食物中毒案了。
Then we can be sure that this isn't a simple food poisoning case. Exactly. Insecticide 330 is a potent pesticide. If it were deliberately used in a restaurant, there's no way that this case of food poisoning was caused by negligence. Definitely, this sounds more like a blackmail or, you know, like a grudge, like a hate crime kind of thing. So a hazardous chemical was intentionally used. It's a criminal act. Mr. Green didn't ask his employees to buy insecticide 330. So who bought it and put it in the water? If the culprit was in a restaurant, they must have left fingerprints or some other traces. Okay, so we got to find the connection between the fingerprints.
抽水器的表面与内部滤芯周围都有提取到指纹，其中有4枚与门锁内录入的信息相符。
Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't. Oh, I thought he would end at like one
最早的一枚来
like
自10
one
年
text
前，
box, but he didn't.
应该是门锁刚安装时就录入的。不出意外， 属于方圆本人。
Okay, the earliest is from 10 years ago. It's likely whoever installed the lock, so Mr. Green himself.
还有2枚指纹，分别是在3年前和1年前录入。
There are 2 other fingerprints that were registered 3 years ago and 1 year ago.
根据薛欣然告诉我的员工信息看，这2枚指纹是属于餐厅员工的。
According to what Winnie told us about the restaurant staff, these 2 likely belong to them.
第4枚指纹，录入时间是6年前，暂时想不到会属于谁。
A 4th fingerprint was registered 6 years ago, but I have no clue who it belongs to. Maybe a former employee?
这个可能可以排除。门锁里有清理权限的记录。
We can rule out that
离职员工的
possibility
指纹
because there are
应该都被
records of
清理掉。
entry deletion, so I'm assuming the fingerprints of the former employees were removed.
但我在另一件证物上发
But
现
on
了
a
一个指
certain
纹，
piece of evidence,
与
I
门锁
found
中
a
的第4个
fingerprint
指
that
纹一
matches
致。
the 4th fingerprint in the smart locks
你猜是哪
database.
件证物？
Care to hazard a guess? I'm sorry, I have to speak over him. He speaks too much. Okay. The receipt for insecticide 330.
没错，而且抽水器内部的滤芯附近也出现过这枚指纹。
That's right, this fingerprint also appears near the water dispenser's filter. Now we know for sure that someone not employed by the restaurant was here recently. So they must have been the one who placed the insecticide into the water dispenser. Since they can unlock the front door, they must be close to Mr. Green. So someone who's close to him, but also has a conflict of interest with the restaurant, will have to ask Mr. Green for the answer. And Mr. Green is unwilling to answer our question. So probably it's, it's someone, it's someone. Yeah. Someone important, probably.
我觉得，就凭
Oh, sorry. Whoops. Okay, wait, what did he say? I don't think he'll talk with the evidence we currently have on hand. Okay, you mean Mr. Green is deliberately trying to shield the suspect?
没错，
Oh, that's right. Why do you think that? Do you find some evidence?
一般这种水桶的清洗工作，都是在供应商回收水桶之后进行的。
Usually, cleaning water tanks is done by the supplier after they retrieve an empty tank.
但餐厅中留下的案发当日盛装山泉水的水桶，却被清洗得十分干净，圣
However,
水、指纹全部都没有留下。
the tanks of spring water in the restaurant from the day of the incident have been wiped clean. Not a drop or print to be found.
此外，在酒柜边沿发现的药粉，经过初步化验是无害的虫沙林，但却被清理掉了。
Additionally, the powder found along the wine cabinet tested to be non-toxic, bug out, but it was also cleaned up. The restaurant likely uses bug out on a regular basis. Could the staff have cleaned it up by accident?
在一家发生了食物中毒案的餐厅里，没有老板的授意，一般员工是不敢这么做的。
In a restaurant where food poisoning occurred, the staff normally wouldn't dare to do so without explicit orders.
甚至我猜测，这些消除证据的行为，是方先生在得知投毒人的身份后亲自来做的。
Okay, so they're suspecting that this what's that? He knew who the suspect was, and he cleaned up the evidence. Who are you trying to shield? That's so scary, though. And he's not trying to do anything about it. Yeah, in that case, this must be either like a long-time grudge or something that's unexpected, you know. In that case, if that's the case, then Mr. Green must have a long history with our culprit. Why would Vernon want to protect someone who is clearly out to damage the restaurant? You and Luke can't wrap your heads around it. you hear footprints suddenly coming down from upstairs. It's Winnie. Her eyes are red and swollen from crying. When your eyes meet, Winnie stops in her tracks. This is concerning. She opens her mouth as if wanting to say something. Before she can speak, Vernon calls out from upstairs.
欣然呐，我的药放在哪儿了？
Winnie, have you seen my medicine? That's kind of sus. Is he trying to silence her? My guy.
风爷爷，你别动，我来给你拿。
Stay where you are, Grandpa Vern. I'll get it for you. Winnie glances at you before going back upstairs. What's Mr. Green trying to hide?
既然他自己不愿意说，又没阻止我们调查，那就由我们自己来找出真相吧。
Maybe it's something that he can't say or he doesn't want to say, but also like it's not like he's trying to desperately hide it, like he wants us to find it. I don't know. What a troublesome case. If he's unwilling to tell us the truth, then it's up to us to find out ourselves. We should start on the poisoner's identity. They've had access to the restaurants for 6 years, so we'll likely find clues to their identity somewhere here.
而且投毒人与餐厅是有利害冲突的，在餐厅的经营信息中也可能留有相关线索，比如账册之类的。
Yeah, okay, and also like clearly, the suspect has a conflict of interest with the restaurant, so maybe we can find something in the restaurant's operational records.
我们再把1楼搜查一下，实在找不到的话，就只能当面询问方先生了。
Let's comb through the restaurant one more time. If we really can't find anything, we'll have to confront Mr. Green about it. Oh, speaking of conflict of interest, I just thought of... Ew, that's so cheesy. You and Luke lock eyes and he immediately knows what you're thinking. As if you two are of one mind. Why would you say something so cheesy?
你的意思是，美味咖？
Okay, wait, sorry. I'm like adjusting the volume on the fly because like the last stream, their voices were kind of soft, but I also don't want it to be too loud. So I'm like adjusting it on the fly. But like, you don't mean deli cart? Oh, we got reward. Yay, I love rewards. Okay, let's go. You and Luke have determined that the suspect is someone closely related to Vernon and has a conflict of interest with the restaurant. You suddenly think of Pedro, the man that Winnie had argued with. Vernon had rejected his sales offer several times, which constitutes a conflict of interest.
难道会和我调查的另一个案子有关？
Hey, sorry, I was adjusting my pop filter if you heard any weird scratching noise. Okay, could this case be related to another one I'm working on? Another case? I'm talking about Pedro, the sales manager for Deli Cart. Winnie told me about him back at the law firm. Winnie didn't tell you about him? Or is there something more to this?
美味咖拿到了合印资本的投资，正在计划上市。你听说过吗？
Delicart received investment funds from Pax Capital and is planning to go public. Did you hear about that? Yeah, I did. I also heard that many financial institutions are following suit.
没错，这些金融机构中的一家委托我对美味咖进行信用和背景调查。
One of them hired me to perform credit and background checks on Delicart.
在调查过程中，我发现美味咖这家公司除了养了一批水军做假数据之外，还涉嫌使用非法手段获利。
Oh. During my investigation, I not only found that Delicart not only hired a bunch of paid posters to write fake reviews, but also they're also suspected of making money through illegal means. What? Delicart's just a food review app. What's their goal?
原本我也不理解，但结合这次的事故，我想我可能找到调查方向了。
I don't know either, but this case might have given me a lead.
点评 APP 市场竞争者众多，美味咖虽然能维持正常经营，却还远远达不到上市的盈利要求。
There's a lot of competition in the review app market. Although Delicart can remain afloat, its revenues are not yet high enough to go public.
但如果平台上的餐厅出现经营事故，那么美味咖独有的高价公关服务就有用武之地了。
But if an accident occurred at one of their clients' restaurants, Delicart premium PR services would then become useful. Ah, my avatar. You're saying that Delicart intentionally sabotages its clients? Like review bombing a restaurant to force its owner to purchase Delicart's premium services to save their restaurant's reputation.
这只是我结合2个委托推测出来的结果，目前还没有证据。
This is just my hypothesis based on these two cases, but I don't have any hard evidence yet. I didn't think this is what private detectives do nowadays.
不然呢？难道去调查明星隐私或是捉奸？
Ah, sorry. What else? You think I'd be invading some celebrity's privacy or digging into affairs? Give me a break. You said it, not me. I thought private detectives were all about solving cold cases. Pedro happens to be a Delicart employee, so you might be right. Let's see if we can find evidence here. Oh wow. Man, time to squint again. 5 evidences? Man, come on, y'all. I just keep tapping. Oh. You access the computer on the checkout counter to check the restaurant's account logs. The expenditures look normal. Most of the costs are towards ingredients and Delicart's monthly membership fee. Expenditures for supporting underprivileged students are also recorded here.
美味咖给餐厅刷差评，方先生却没有停缴会员费吗？
Ah, Delicart review bombed this place, but Mr. Green still pays their membership fee. Is there something forcing him to continue paying their membership fee? He's been a member since March of last year. Huh? Luke. Luke. Look. Pedro's name is here. You find Pedro's name among the list. Among the list of underprivileged students that Vernon had supported. Vernon used to send him $300 every month. Pedro was one of the students that Mr. Green had helped. The records show that Vernon had supported Pedro for a long time. Payments stopped in June last year, around the time when Pedro would have graduated from college.
能看到卢海洋的收款账号吗？
Do you see Pedro's bank account number anywhere? Yes, the last 4 digits match the account number on the insecticide 330. Oh my god. Oh my god.
这样一来，卢海洋就有重大嫌疑了。
In that case, Pedro is extremely suspicious. Okay, we got some evidence. Okay, and we got some clues. Let's just clear all the... Okay. Oh. I haven't seen a handwritten customer feedback book in a long time. Winnie said that the restaurant got review bombed on Delicart once Mr. Green turned down Pedro's offer. The positive feedback in this book is proof that Delicart hires ghostwriters to write negative reviews.
这些手写的好评，每一条都充满了诚意，看得出方先生的手艺是真的很受欢迎。
You can feel the sincerity behind each written comment. This place is truly loved. This is ... There's a leaflet tucked between the pages. It's a quote from Delicart on their premium services.
在原有价格的基础上有手写的折扣价，还附带了一张卢海洋的名片。
There is a handwritten discount offer. Pedro's business card is also attached.
看来美味咖确实向方先生推销过公关服务。
Looks like Delicart tried to sell their premium services to Mr. Green. What else is there? Muchas. No, nothing. Okay. What's a plan? Wait. No books. How do people find evidence? Oh my god, you gotta really look through. Oh. Photo of Mr. Green's family. Oh, wait. Okay. While searching the bookshelf, you come across a picture frame hidden amongst the recipes. Okay, who are you guys? That's Mr. Green? Wait a minute, that's Mr. Green. Mr. Green was quite handsome. Why is the MC saying this? Back in his prime. But now he seems a bit haggard. Hey yo, that's rude. He's old now. I hope this blows over so he can get back on his feet. The kid. Is this Mr. Green's son? When... Okay, when Winnie hired me, she told me about Mr. Green's current situation. She didn't mention he had a son. Please don't tell me Pedro is his son. I would hate that. Please don't tell me Pedro is his son. She's only been in Stelli's for a month. It's understandable she doesn't know everything about his family. Please. Please. No, don't tell me it's Pedro, please. I feel like the boy in the photo seems familiar. Familiar? But you have met him recently. I really can't remember. Okay, his wife. This must be Mr. Green's wife, Penny. She's beautiful.
与方先生这么紧密地靠在一起，应该就是方太太了。
It's gotta be her. I mean, they look extremely close with each other. Her smile so gentle, she must have been a kind-hearted person. It's such a pity. There. Oh my god. Oh my god. Yo. It moves. Oh, sorry. Look, it moves. Oh my god. Yo, this is some 3D. Hey, yo. Okay, there's one more. No. You move the photo to see if there's a date on the back, but you find another photo wedged behind the photo frame. It's Pedro! Well, that's like in Resident Evil, I think. Yeah. I've watched a couple of plays. I've never played it personally myself, but in Resident Evil, you can like rotate the photos and stuff like that. I've seen it on YouTube before.
照片上有时间，2028年3月。照片是前年拍摄的。
This photo was dated March wow, this is in the future, 2028, and it was taken 2 years ago, which means currently, they are in 2030. Why would Pedro's photo be with Mr. Green's family photo?
以方先生的年龄看，他如果有儿子，也远比卢海洋。
Nah. You can't assume anything at this point. Judging by Mr. Green's age, his son should be much older than Pedro. We'll have to ask Mr. Green about it then. Okay, so we're done for that. Wow, there's still so much. Okay, I'm gonna give up, man. Oh. Mr. Green's pretty amazing. He was the champion of last year's Stellis angling competition. Last year? Only last year?
照片里的方先
He's
生
aged so much.
看上去是个很开朗的人，可他现在
Wait, let me adjust my mic.
说到钓鱼，我记得你一直都很喜欢海鲜。
Okay. This incident caused this restaurant to close down. Of course he'd be upset. Hey yo, my avatar. Hey yo. It's not moving. Okay. Speaking of fishing, I remember you used to love seafood. How about now? Of course I do.
胖一点
Hey,
挺好
wait,
啊
why is it? Oh, of course I do. Arguably even more now. Seafood's low in fat, so I don't have to worry about gaining weight. A little fat's good for ya. You always feel too skinny to me. What is this conversation? No way, I just bought a new dress. Oh, the last evidence is here, huh? It's not? The table... Oh, wow, that's... I didn't even notice that. Why is it so... We have a CCTV camera all along. Why couldn't we check it in the first place? So Luke notices a CCTV camera high in a corner near the
看
entrance.
上去那个摄像头是损坏的，我把它拆下来检查一下。
Okay, so it looks like it's damaged. Oh, no wonder. I was clicking the auto. Okay, so the camera is high up near the ceiling. Luke stacks 2 chairs on top of each other before climbing up. However, they appear shaky and unsafe. I'll steady the chairs for you. Be careful.
放心，我动作很快的。
Don't worry, I'll be done in a flash. Wow, Luke's movements are nimble. He swiftly detaches the camera from its wall mount. Only once Luke's feet are back on the floor do you relax. Your neck is sore from looking up. Okay. Yeah, someone must have tampered with that thing. The lens is shattered. The camera's not an easily accessible location, so how did this happen?
看碎裂状况，应该是硬物撞击导致的。
Judging from the cracks, it was hit by a blunt force. Yeah, it's possible that the culprit tried to break it after discovering it. And... oh yeah, ooh la la. Can't see. Oh, okay.
监控应该是被硬物砸过，弹出器坏掉了，记忆卡拿不出来。
Oh, the camera must have been hit by a hard object. The memory card slot is damaged. I can't eject it.
不过简单修理一下的话，应该能把记忆卡取出来。
Okay, after some simple repairs, we should be able to remove the memory card. Oh.
WiFi 信号器坏了，监控无法联网。
Okay, so the Wi-Fi receiver is broken. That's interesting. There's no online capability. It wouldn't have helped us anyway. Surveillance footage is usually kept on the cloud for only 14 days. After going through the scene again, you now have a clearer picture of the person responsible for the food poisoning incident. Now we're sure Delicart, or rather Pedro, tried to market premium services to Mr. Green. However, we can't implicate him with only a receipt. He could argue that he dropped it in the restaurant after the incident.
但如果监控拍到他在案发前来过呢？
What if the surveillance camera caught him here before the incident occurred? Then that would be plausible, but like, is the evidence even like there?
那他就很难洗清嫌疑了。
It'd be... Oh my god, am I back? Am I back? Why is it so unstable though? Welcome back. Okay, I'm back. Okay, thank you. It's still currently a bit unstable, but if anything happens, you just let me know again. Not a Sanshroomy without Wi-Fi disconnect. Right, it's not even that my Wi-Fi is that bad though. Ah well. It's okay, it's okay. The good thing about Twitch is that, I don't know, they reconnect automatically. So even if the stream is like disconnected, as long as you stay, like it will reconnect back, which is great. I'm not sure whether it happens with other platforms, but yeah. Okay, well, guess I have to stitch the archive later and upload it on YouTube, but it's fine, it's fine. Okay, let's continue. So the camera is spoiled, so how are we going to obtain evidence now?
经过我的初步判断，这个东西是可以修好的。工具我包里就有现成的。
Oh, I had a look. It can be easily fixed, and I have all the tools I need right here. That's amazing. Wouldn't expect anything less from my Sherlock. Wow, that is aggressive.
等着看我大显身手吧。
Sit back and watch the magic happen. Luke pulls out all sorts of gadgets from his pockets. Before he can start, Vernon comes downstairs with Winnie's assistance.
不必修了，监控是我自己弄坏的。
You can save your efforts. I broke the camera myself. Vernon was the one who did it? Are you ready to confess, Vernon? Because it's irritating that you keep defending the culprit. We're trying so hard to help you right now. Oh, we have to fight. A couple is picking the restaurant's camellias for selfies. Seeing this almost made Vernon's heart disease flare up. Okay, we need empathy cards. Auto build, empathy, optimize. Okay, no. How do we like manually build it? Okay. Okay. Okay, wait, the boss is like this, so I'ma just... I can't... Do they not allow me to read the... Wait, let me read the cards myself. Okay, let me just read the cards by myself. Okay, this is offensive. This is also offensive. This is... reduces empathy defense. And this is boosts my defense. And this is it's another attack card. This is so big brain. I don't play card games very often, so I guess this is fine, probably. Oh, but like this guy though. Okay, you know what? We'll just try this. YOLO. Why is it so loud, by the way? Okay, let me lower. The battle music is so loud. I only play TCG light card games. Oh yeah, trading card games. I never played those either, but like I just don't really understand. Hey, okay, wait. I thought my cards were shuffled weirdly, so I thought. Wait. Okay. Let's start with something simple. Oh, but this isn't good because we have wave 2. I think we'll be fine. Oh no, we're not fine. Oh well. Well, let's just yeet him out of the park. Okay, that is all. Nice. Don't really know what any of this means, but nice. I think I'll take some time to like actually, you know, get used to this card game thing, but I think for now we're fine, we're good. I'm not sure why the thing disconnects sometimes. I'm not sure whether it's because I'm streaming in 1080p. But like, yeah, you know what? It's fine. It adds excitement to my streams where I just cut off accidentally. But I hope it stops though. I don't use an Ethernet cable, so it's kind of iffy. Okay, Mr. Green, you. Oh wait, my OBS. Wait, why is it? Yeah. Yeah, I cut off slightly as I said cut out slightly. Right, okay, wait a minute. How do I wait, let me wait a minute. I'm just trying to see whether there are any settings that are affecting. It don't seem like there are any settings that are affecting this stuff. Okay, I mean, I think it's fine. Hopefully, but yeah. Okay, never mind. You know, never mind. It's fine. Hopefully. Hopefully everything is okay. Okay, so you and Luke are both surprised by Vernon's sudden confession that he was the one who broke the CCTV camera.
方先生，你是不是早就知道了，餐厅的食物中毒事故实际是有人投毒？
So, Mr. Green, you knew from the start that the food poisoning incident was deliberately caused by someone, didn't you?
而投毒的人就是卢海洋。
Wait, let me up the volume again. And that someone is none other than Pedro. Vernon walks to a table and sits down without saying a word.
方爷爷，这都什么时候了？您为什么还要包庇那个忘恩负义的混蛋？
Oh, Grandpa Vern, why are you still trying to protect that ungrateful scum? Oh, that's a strong word.
俗话说，升米恩，斗米仇。您就是对他太好了，他才会得寸进尺。
You've been too kind to him. You give him an inch and he takes a mile.
薛女士，方先生告诉了你什么？
Winnie, what did Mr. Green tell you? Winnie silently looks at Vernon with an irate expression on her face, then turns away, biting her lip. Other than a long sigh, Vernon shows no sign of wanting to tell you the truth. I'm like this close to like fighting the old man right now. I'm like this close to starting a brawl in the restaurant with this old man. Pedro's your son, isn't it? Isn't it? That's the only possible like conclusion. You know. Is it not? His strange behavior reminds you of the family photo and Pedro's photo on the bookshelf. That's it. Pedro's the one who looks like the boy in the photo. Could that be the reason why Mr. Green is hiding the truth? Right. Is it why? Come on. Don't be like this. Tell me what's the truth? Mr. Green, forgive me if what I am about to say is too personal. We have found photos of your family and Pedro on the bookshelf. Are you protecting him because he resembles your son, or is he just the son? You know, what if it's not a resemble kind of thing? What if it's just a... He literally is your son? Vernon looks up at you in surprise, then lets out another long sigh. If this old man keeps sighing and he's not willing to speak, I'm gonna start a brawl with him.
你是怎么知道的？
How did you know? Or maybe I don't know, he went through the same things as his son or something like that, and maybe he just felt like bad about the whole thing, you know? We're not sure, but yeah. You hand Vernon the photo you found on the bookshelf. The boy in this photo is your son?
是的，他是我和清平唯一的孩子，方轩。
Yes, he was our only child, Peter. Peter and Pedro sound very, very, very similar, not gonna lie. What happened?
27年前，轩轩18岁，考上了他梦寐以求的未名大学，闹着要自己出去旅游庆祝一下。
27 years ago, Peter was still 18. He had just been accepted to Stelis University, his dream school. He wanted to celebrate by going on a trip.
本来是件高兴的事儿，可谁知，旅游巴士在邻省的盘山路上出了车祸，他就再也没回来。
Oh my god. My avatar may be smiling, but that's just because my jaw dropped open. I'm not happy right now. It was a happy occasion, but there was a car accident. Peter never returned. Oh my god.
我和清贫会资助贫困学生，也是因为想
Oh
念
my
儿子。
god. Wait, isn't
看着那些努力学习的孩子，就好像轩轩的大学梦在他们身上延续。
Oh man. Oh man. Penny and I started helping impoverished students to cope with our loss. It feels like Peter's dream of university lives on through them and their hard work.
可尽管如此，清贫还是在这个打击下一病不起。过了2年，也弃我而去了。
However, Penny never recovered from our son's death. She passed away 2 years later. I'm so sorry. Hey, then what's the deal with Pedro then? He's just being mean now, isn't he?
清贫很喜欢做菜，他留下了一本菜谱，于是我就辞职开了这家餐馆，想让更多的人尝到清贫的独门菜肴。
Penny loved to cook and left behind a recipe book. I quit my job and opened this restaurant so people can enjoy her cooking. Oh no. Oh no. Oh man. Oh man. Yeah, literally, I'm like Sanshroomy cry right now. I'm just like, man. Hey yo, this is...
海洋原本是来我店里打工的，他想一边打工一边自学考大学。
Pedro, what happened? What turned you into such a bad man? Pedro was a part-timer here. He wanted to work while studying for college.
他和轩轩本就很像，我看他每晚下班后还在厨房里读书，就忍不住想帮帮他，让他过得不要那么辛苦。
He really reminded me of Peter. Every night I saw him studying in the kitchen after work. I couldn't help but want to give him a hand.
他对我来说，真的和其他受资助的学生不一样。
To me, he's different from all the other students I sponsored. Oh, why?
当年的卢海洋，应该是个正直努力的好青年吧？
Yeah, isn't... Sounds like the Pedro back then was a good and honest person. What happened, Pedro? Just saw your tweet. Do you have an office chair now? Oh yeah, I got a new chair. Okay, no, see, the thing is, I had an office chair like before, but it was the cushioned one, so like it was thick, okay, like the cushion, so it was comfortable. But the thing is, it was extremely hot, and like it was just uncomfortable to sit on because like it would heat up, you know, every like few, honestly, minutes, like the moment you sit down. And so I kept having to like shift around, and it was like, yeah. So I got a new like fully meshed chair, so even the seat is mesh, so it's a lot more cooler, and I don't get the like really uncomfortable warm sensation anymore. And then I gave my old chair to one of my family members who needed a new chair, so it all worked out. Also because like I don't know, I feel like my body temperature is just higher than normal, I guess. So it's like, yeah, so maybe that's why I get hot easily. But yeah, I sit on a couch with leg rest. But yeah, it gets hot in summer. Right, it gets super hot in summer. Congrats, thank you. So that's right, I got a new chair. Okay, anyways, I'm like, wait, let me take some water. But yes. Okay, yeah. Sometimes I stumble on my words when I talk too much, so I need to calm down so I don't stutter. Okay. Sounds like the Pedro back then was a good and honest person.
那当然，海洋会做出投毒的事，真的不怪他，都是那家黑心公司逼他的。
Of course, it's not his fault that he poisoned the water. Delicart forced him to do it. Delicart forced him? How do you know? I feel like I don't know, I'm kind of sad. I would be really sad if like Grandpa Vernon is still desperately trying to protect him, but actually Pedro was the one that actually turned bad. Like that would be very heartbreaking.
这就要从去年他入职那家公司说起了。
I really hope this is a happy ending. It all began when he started working for that company last year. Oh, we got a flashback. Yay!
方爷爷，你帮帮我，我要被开除了。
His voice is so nice. Pedro, your voice is so nice. What happened? Why is he covered in bruises? Oh my god. Grandpa Vern, you gotta help me. They're gonna fire me.
孩子，你这是怎么了？
Right, he got beat up. My man's got like beat. What? Pedro, what happened to you? Yeah, what he was all wait, whoa. This got deep. I don't like this. I don't like this. Pedro kneels before Vernon, bitterly sobbing. His cheeks are swollen and purple palm prints are visible on his skin. He was obviously beaten.
你快起来，是谁打的你？我这就去报警。
Yeah, who did this to you? I'll call the police right now. What is going on?
不要报警，是我自己打的。
What? What? No, don't call the cops. I did this to myself. What?
自己打的。你为什么？
Yeah, what? Why would you?
我完不成公司的业绩指标，这个月差了50万，就要当着全组人的面打自己50个耳光。
I was 70K away from my monthly target, so I had to slap myself 50 times in front of my team. Oh my god.
公司说，这叫知耻而后勇。如果打得不中，还要被扣工资，说是知错不改，不求上进。
The company called it a motivation boost. If I didn't slap myself hard enough, they were gonna reduce my salary for not reflecting on my mistakes. Yo.
岂有此理！你们公司这么做是犯法的。
That's ridiculous. It's illegal for your company to do this. Hell yeah, it's illegal. What?
海洋，你赶紧去辞职，咱们告他。
Pedro, quit right now. We'll sue them.
方爷爷，我不能辞职啊！你是不知道现在工作有多难找，我好不容易大学毕业了，总不能再去给人卖苦力。
Grandpa Vern, I can't quit. You don't know how hard it is to find a job right now. I finally graduated from college. I can't go back to doing manual labor. Pedro!
我前面几份工作都没干长久，再辞职的话，不会再有公司要我了。
I didn't last long in my previous jobs. If I quit again, no company's gonna hire me.
我不想回老家，不想回那个穷山沟，我想留在城里。
I don't want to go back to my hometown, not that backwater place. I want to stay in the city. What Delicart did was absolutely illegal. He should have listened to you and resigned and then sued them.
海 洋是穷怕了，一心想出人头地，我理解。我当时被他吓到了，只想着尽力帮帮他。
Oh no, 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 no. This is... Nah, man. Nah, man. This isn't... Oh... Pedro was afraid of poverty, so he wanted to advance his career. I understand that. I was shocked at the time and just wanted to help him.
他说让我买美味咖的会员，1个月2000块钱，我同意了，全当是接着资助他了。
Oh, he asked me to purchase a Delicart's membership at $300 a month. $300 a month. I agreed and considered it as continued support for him.
但这只是一个开始，对吗？卢海洋还在不断向您推销各种收费服务，比如高级会员。
That was just the beginning, wasn't it? Pedro started pushing you to spend more money on things like their premium membership.
没错，而且实话实说，
What?
他们的高级会员1个月3万块，
They're making him look like a victim, right? Like,
我是真的买不起。
like, oh. But this story is super good though, because like we have no idea where we're going with this. Like on one hand, we suddenly got to know Pedro's backstory, but like, is this true, or like how much of this is true? Like, did Pedro really turn bad? Is he still a good person? But if he's a good person, then why did he harass Grandpa Vernon? You know, this story is making you think, and my pea-sized brain is going on overdrive right now. So I don't know who to believe anymore. This is like, man. Their premium membership is $4,500 a month. $4,500 a month. Most people don't even make that for monthly wage. What if $4,500 a month and advertising is even more expensive? I really can't afford it.
我的拒绝加大了海洋的业绩压力，他也是因此才走上歪路，变得不择手段。
My refusal put more pressure on him to meet his sales target. It pushed him down the crooked path. It's like, number one, like definitely the company's in the wrong, because like that's just straight up like you know, abuse and stuff like that. But like it sucks because these things actually do happen in companies, and like there have been a lot of news on like companies making workers do like screwed up things because they can't meet their sales target. So it's like, is Pedro good or is Pedro bad? Like, I'm being torn apart by this story right now.
归根到底，这都是美味咖的错。刷差评、
This is-
雇佣闲散人员闹事是他们的常用伎俩。我隔壁的餐厅就遇到过。
Yeah, oh my god. Like, oh. Man. Okay, so like, I have to take a minute. This is this is wow. Okay, this is all Delicart's fault. Their go-to tactics are review bombing and hiring people to stir up trouble. The restaurant next door fell victim to this. This is so messed up. It sucks. This is so this is so messed up. I hate it. Oh, ooh. I'm spiraling. Yeah, how come the restaurant's owners never teamed up to file a lawsuit together?
我们没证据啊，而且据说美味咖还挺有势力的，网上的人都想着美味咖，我也只能眼睁睁看着海洋和他们学坏。
We have no evidence. Word has it that Delicart has powerful backers. Everyone online is on their side, and I could only watch as Pedro learned their evil ways. Someone rescue Pedro. Someone rescue him right now. Like, being in such a toxic environment definitely has an effect. Like, I can't exactly blame him for turning bad, but at this point we just gotta save Pedro, you know? Like, Like, come on, let's save Pedro.
其实食品安全局的人走后，我就知道事情是海洋做的了。
No.
但是
To tell you the truth, by the time the Food Safety Bureau left, I knew it was Pedro who did it, but...
所以您才会清洗水桶，打扫餐厅里残留的无毒药物，甚至毁坏监控。这一切都是为了保护卢海洋。
No. So he was doing all this to protect... Man, this is sad. Man. No. Ah. That's why he washed the tanks, cleaned up the insecticide, and even destroyed the CCTV camera. All of this was to protect him. If Pedro doesn't, like, buck up and, you know, have a character, like, development arc, I'm gonna flip, man.
但您为什么那么肯定作案人就是卢海洋呢？
How are you so sure that it was Pedro? 我
方爷爷，
我
如果您放过卢海洋，
Oh,
那
did he
餐
just
厅
say
就会留
what? Oh yeah, okay, he just says what. Grandpa Vern, if you let Pedro get off easily, your restaurant will be driven out of business because of this incident.
那方奶奶留下的私房菜，就真的没人能吃到了呀。
Then no one can enjoy Granny Penny's food anymore.
我不是没想过把事情揭发出来，但我不想让海洋坐牢。
I've considered bringing this matter to light, but I don't want Pedro to go to jail. Pedro!
他还年轻，只是一时糊涂。可要是坐牢的话，他这一辈子就毁了呀。
Okay, that is true. See, he has a point. Oh man, I hate that he has a point. I'm suffering inside. I'm like vibrating like an atom. I'm just like, Urgh. He's just young and naive. If he goes to jail, his whole life will be ruined. That is true. That is true.
可方先生，让卢海洋浪子回头的根本方法，难道不是让美味咖受到法律的制裁吗？
Okay. Mr. Green, the only way to set him back on the right path is to put Delicart to justice, don't you think? But like, we gotta rescue Pedro though.
卢海洋的投毒案是揭开美味咖经营黑幕的突破口，只要卢海洋能指证。
But what if he's not willing to testify though? This poisoning case can be the first step in unraveling Delicart's crimes as long as Pedro can testify against them.
年轻人，你不懂，我何尝没这样想过？但那家公司，咱们惹不起呀。
Oh man. You don't get it. I never thought of that, but we can't afford to mess with that company. You didn't stop us from investigating though. A part of you wants the truth to come out, doesn't it? If Pedro's... Oh, haha, she exposed herself. If Pedro's willing to cooperate, I can defend him in court.
姑娘，你其实是律师吧？我早就看出来了。你隐瞒身份，是因为欣然和你说我不喜欢律师吧？
Miss, you're a lawyer, aren't you? I realized it a while ago. You hid your identity, probably because Winnie told you that I didn't like lawyers. It got found out, though. You didn't even realize what you said until right now. I'm sorry, Mr. Green.
其实，我并不抵触找律师。 我只是怕律师抓到海洋的把柄。
Oh man. Actually, I'm not against hiring a lawyer. I'm only afraid that Pedro will get into trouble.
我原本想，餐厅已经收拾干净了，你们也查不出什么了。如果能让欣然死心，或者我能少赔点钱，那也是个好事儿。
I thought that nothing would turn up in your investigation since I cleaned everything. If it give Winnie a peace of mind or lower the compensation payout, that would be enough.
是我低估你们了，也低估了欣然的执着。
I underestimated your abilities and Winnie's persistence.
刚才我在楼上把事情的原委告诉了欣然，她也劝了我半天。
I told Winnie everything while we were upstairs. She tried to change my mind, but
我知道你们都是为我好，但我真的不忍心海洋他。所以，我还是决定不请律师了。你们回去吧。
I know you're all doing this for me, but I really can't bear the thought of Pedro in prison. I'm sorry, but you should head back. Vernon turns around and starts going upstairs. You open your mouth to say something when the restaurant's door suddenly swings open. That's scary though. Yeah, who would it be here at this time? You turn, you look toward the front door and... It's the Wi-Fi. The Y. Okay, is it okay? Is it okay? Okay. Yeah. I'm very good at spotting when the OBS square turns red. It stopped at and, but it's all good again. Yeah, okay, so it's Pedro. Pedro appeared at the door. But he has a very smug smile with him, so I don't really like his face per se, but yeah. You didn't miss anything. Right. Okay, it stopped at and. Okay, so it's Pedro now. But he looks kinda smug, so I'm not sure whether I appreciate his presence right now. But yeah, I will just close my eyes. Oh, okay, let's continue then. But it all good again, yeah. Okay. Wow, I'm ready to brawl with Pedro right now. Upon seeing you and Luke inside with Winnie and Vernon, Pedro freezes for a moment, but then he sneers. Sneers, I'm gonna punch that sneer off of your face if you don't behave, Pedro.
老头儿，你就算找律师又能怎么样啊？对方找的可是咱们这儿排第一的巴德尔律所。
Oh, even his voice changed. Wow, I hate his like evil voice. Where give us Pedro back. Please. Give us the old Pedro back. We don't want this slimy guy. Where is the old Pedro? What happened? Old man, what can you even do with a lawyer, you know? You're up against Balder. What a stupid... I'm getting so angry. What a stupid name. Your company name is Balder. The best of the best.
你赢不了的，还是把钱省下来。
I wanna punch him. Hey, calm down. You can't win. Why not save yourself some money and buy the premium services from me? Pedro root went. No, it's more like a Pedro brawl where like Sanshroomy fights Pedro. I will plummet him. I will pummel him to the ground.
方爷爷，你看到了吧？他根本就是执迷不悟。
See, Grandpa Vern, he's gone completely off the deep end. Okay, not gonna lie, like, I just want to be, like, unbiased, but, like, being in such a toxic company for a long time, I can understand why Pedro has gone so far, but also, I want to fight everyone right now. I'm ready to brawl, like, everyone right now. Pedro. Vernon is not in good health. Worried that Pedro might become rowdy, you start to step in between the two. However, Luke places a hand on your arm and gently squeezes it.
别着急，
Don't rush, he says with a wink. He winks at you and flashes something from his pocket. A recording pen. Wow! A recording pen. That is so sexy. Does he think Pedro may get emotional and reveal the truth about everything? Even still, you know, I think a recording is good to have anyways.
海洋，你为什么就不肯辞职呢？你知不知道你做的那些事是犯法的呀？
Oh, there's so much emotion in his voice. Pedro, why won't you resign? You ought to know that what you did was against the law.
犯法？我犯什么法了？你们有证据吗？
Against the law? Which law did I break? Do you have any evidence? Look pro move, right? Look is equipped. Of course we do. What happened at this restaurant wasn't a food poisoning accident, but a case of deliberate contamination. We found a receipt showing that you bought a toxic insecticide. What do you think about that? Pedro sees the evidence you and Luke collected on the table behind you, and his expression immediately changes.
行啊，老头，你长本事了。除了婆婆妈妈的说教，还会制造假证据了。
You got some nerve, old man. Aside from lecturing me endlessly, you're also forging evidence. Oh.
表面上一副为我好的嘴脸，背地里却为了给自己脱罪栽赃我。你也太伪善了。
What a two-faced geezer. You say you care about me and you're now pulling this crap? What a hypocrite. Oh, this is getting...
卢海洋，你凭什么说方爷爷伪善？他从没做过对不起你的事。
Pedro, how dare you call Grandpa Vern a hypocrite? What did he ever do to you?
放屁！他当然对不起我。
Cut crap. Like you don't know, I don't know.
要不是因为我和他儿子长得像，他会鼓动我考大学，让我留在魏明市吗？他知道外来人在魏明市生活有多难吗？
Pedro gonna get Sanshroomy leg drop, man. I'm gonna like hurl myself at him like a very big bullet. If I didn't look like his dead son, he wouldn't have encouraged me to go to college and stay in Stellis. Does he know how hard it is to relocate and survive here? Ooh, Pedro, please calm down.
不要说买房安家了，在这个竞争激烈的超级大城市里，挣出房租饭费就已经让人精疲力尽了。
Forget buying a house and settling down. I can barely earn enough to cover rent and food in this hyper-competitive city.
是他把这份负担强加给我的，他就该负责。
He forced me into this situation, so he should be held responsible. Pedro, you know, for a split second, I actually felt for you, but like you're kind of like losing all your brownie points. You know, like
再说了，当爹的给儿子钱支持儿子的事业，不是理所当然的吗？
Besides, isn't it natural for a father to give his son money to support his career?
你简直不可理喻。
You're truly beyond reason, yeah.
我让他买我们公司的服务，明明是个双赢的事。他能扩大经营，我能完成业绩，何乐不为？
I'm being equitable. If he buys my company's services, he can promote his business and I reach my target. What's unfair about this?
可他就为了沽名钓誉，非要拿钱去资助那群穷学生。你们看看，现在他出事了，他资助过的学生有人管他吗？
But he'd rather play the hero and throw his money at bottom feeder students. Look at where that got him. Do you see any of those students helping him now?
除了一个还指望着他上大学的薛欣然，那群白眼狼全都躲得远远的。这就是伪善的报应。
Not a single one except you. But you're only here because you need his money to get through college. This is karma for him being a hypocrite.
怎么样，还是买我们公司的公关服务吧。有了你这一大单，我就能完成这个月的业绩指标了。
Oh, what are we gonna do now? How about it? Buy our premium PR service, and I can hit my target. Right, everyone is shocked at Pedro's shamelessness. Vernon stares incredulously at Pedro, deeply wounded by his words. You know, I take everything back. Pedro's probably not gonna be bad. You know what? Let's just take him to jail. I don't care anymore. You know what? Pedro, screw you. You're so mean. I hate it. Grandpa Vern. Oh my god. The quiet restaurant is suddenly filled with the sound of Vernon's rapid breathing. He clutches his chest and kneels in pain. You and Luke move to check on Vernon, but Pedro suddenly makes a beeline for the evidence on the table. Luke swiftly seizes his wrist.
你松手！
Ow! Let go of me. Nah, like break his wrist, honestly, at this point. Break his wrist, Luke. You go, guy. Wow. Pedro's face pales from the pain. Unable to free himself from Luke's grip, Pedro swings his free fist towards Luke. Luke blocks the hit and twists Pedro's wrist. Yeah, break it. Let's go, break it. Pedro screams as Luke locks his arms behind his back. Luke pins Pedro down with an expression as merciless as a sharpened blade. you know the story is nice and all, but like it's kind of funny. The English is kind of funny. Why is it so cheesy?
卢海洋，不要妄想毁灭证据。
Pedro Brooks, do not attempt to destroy the evidence.
如果你能证明你的一切作为都是公司逼迫你的，并且当个污点证人，没准法官还能少判你2年。
If you admit your guilt and testify about Delicart's crimes, you'll likely receive a reduced sentence. You were concerned about work and rent, right? You won't have to worry about those things in prison. Yo, that is a burn. Sheesh. Nice one, me. Break his legs. I'm just like, I do not promote violence, but at this point I'm just angry. I'm just angry because Pedro is being so mean, so unreasonably mean. He needs to reflect in jail. This man needs to go to jail.
我告诉你们，我们公司背后可是恒毅集团，那不是你们惹得起的。
Okay, what he says. You people, okay. I'm warning you, the PAX group has our backs. You don't want to mess with us. So what if the PAX group's owned by the wealthy Von Hagens? Their money means nothing before the law. Justice is blind. Von Hagens. Von Hagens is the surname of another guy that like we could possibly romance. Like his first name is Marius. Like his first name is Marius. Also, like sometimes I occasionally see dropping frames, so like I'll stop talking, by the way. I'll stop talking when like my frames drop, so don't worry, you're not gonna miss anything. But like, yeah, story tying in together, yeah, it is. I'll be defending Mr. Green in court, and I'll take this case to the Supreme Court if I have to, even against the PAX group.
放了他吧。我同意授权你们出庭，我就当没资助过他。
Let him go. I'll hire you as my defense attorney. I'm cutting all ties with him. Oh yeah, you go, Grandpa. Okay, even though it's super sad, but like at this point, he's beyond reason. We have to do it. We have to take him to court. Let's go. Let's go.
你不能这么做。
You can't do that. I'm so angry at Pedro. Luke drags Pedro to the door and shoves him outside.
不要再来骚扰方先生，你不会想知道后果的。
Don't come here and harass Mr. Green again. You don't want to know what will happen if you do. Oh my god, Luke. Okay, see, I still want to pursue Artem, but at this point, Artem really gotta he gotta buck up. Maybe we'll see his cool side later, but yeah. Artem, please show me a cool side because Luke is still kind of dragging me away from Artem. Luke closes the door and briefly interacts with the smart lock, deleting Pedro's fingerprints from its database. Intimidated by Luke, Pedro picks himself up and scurries away. Mr. Green, should we call an ambulance for you? Winnie gave Vernon his emergency medication, but you're still worried.
我没事儿。委托协议书呢？拿来吧，我签。
I'm okay. Give me the agreement. I'll sign it right now.
小伙子，你说的对，让那家黑心公司付出代价，才是让海洋醒悟的最好方法。
You were right. The best way to help Pedro is to bring that evil company to justice. That's right.
我之前总顾虑那家公司有背景，现在看来，我活了一把年纪，还不如这个姑娘有勇气。
I was too apprehensive about their background. I'm this old, and yet I can't compare to the courage of this young lady. Oh my, it's me. You're too kind.
您说的没错，他是我见过最正直的律师，一定能帮您赢下官司的。
You're right. You won't find a lawyer more virtuous than her. She'll definitely win the case for you. Oh my. Yeah, after Vernon signs the representation agreement, you and Luke decide to repair the CCTV camera at Luke's office so Vernon can rest. You feel reassured knowing that Winnie is taking care of Vernon. Okay, we got some more evidence. Good. Mr. Green, we'll take our leave now. Leaving the restaurant, Luke says that his office is in the same house that his parents left him, which isn't too far away from Penny's comfort foods. It's better to walk the short distance rather than hailing a taxi and getting stuck in traffic.
怎么一直看着我？
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Why are you staring at me like that? We're walking with Luke. Oh my god, this animation though. Oh my god. Artem, please, you better step up. Man. I haven't seen you in ages. There's a lot I want to tell you. Oh my god. I don't know where to start.
我也是。
Same here. Oh my god.
没见到你的时候，我其实一直记挂着你。这些年有太多经历都想分享给你。
When I was gone, I always thought of you. There was so much I wanted to share with you. Oh.
可等见了面，却忽然觉得，只要你一切都好，很多话就不必出口了。
But now that we've reunited, I feel that there's no need for words as long as you're all right. Oh. Don't keep
那可就说
everything
来话
yourself.
长
I
了，
want to know.
至少能说
That's
上
what
3
she
天
said.
3夜。
Haha, it's gonna be a long, long, long story.
大律师，你的行程排得开吗？
Do you have a spot for me in your schedule, Miss Attorney? Look, when did you come back? Why didn't you come to see me?
那个，我是上周才。
I only got back last week. Last week? The truth.
好吧，我回来有段时间了。
Fine, I've been back for a little while.
之前
Oh, sorry. Why is it so? I was busy working on an urgent case, so I didn't have time to find you.
你这比比划划的，是在量我的身高吗？
Your hands, are you measuring my height? Of course, I want to see how much taller you've grown. How come you get to keep growing past 20? You're probably at least 5'10" now. That's tall. But then again, I am short, so I guess everyone's taller than me. But that is tall. Not bad.
我们分开的时候我才16啊，当然会长高。
I was only 16 when I left. Of course I grew taller.
现在呢，刚刚好1.8米。怎么样，大律师还满意吗？
Why is everyone so tall? Maybe I'm just short. Maybe I'm just short, you know? Man, everyone's just tall. Everyone's just tall and I'm just super short. Okay then, you know, be like this. I'm 180 on the dot. How do you like that? I don't like that, but man. You still have that key.
当然，这可是你送我的。
Of course, you gave it to me. Wow. Oh. Compared to before, your skin is...
晒黑了，对不对？
And now, right?
你知道的，我一直很想要小麦色的，太白了总被说不够阳刚。
You know how I always wanted to be tan? I hated being called pale. I'm 162, so not tall. Oh, it's okay. I'm short too. You're still taller than me either way. Man. How do people grow so tall? I don't understand. Like how do people grow so tall? 180? Like man. Ugh, sorry, I yawned. But like man. Genetics mainly. Man, I got the short end of the stick, literally. Because I'm small, but ah well. Haha, I was actually gonna say that you're still as pale as ever. Ooh, that's a burn. Haven't you been doing lab experiments all these years? Haha, how do you tan in a lab? Oh.
你就顺着我的话说不行吗？不要揭穿我呀！
Would it kill ya to play along calling me out like this?
我的事务所就在前面，快到了。
Oh, we're almost there. My agency is just up ahead. This will be my first time in a detective's office. Looking forward to it, Detective Pierce.
保证不会让你失望。
I promise not to disappoint. You and Luke chat and laugh all the way to his office. However, the sign in front of you. Look, this 3-story building is your house, right? What is this Times Antiques? Antiquities. Times Antiquities. Okay, I got it. Shouldn't it be something like Pierre's private investigations? Do you rent out the first floor?
托某些不争气同行的福，总有人误会私家侦探和狗仔差不多。客户直接上门的话，被熟人看到会很尴尬。
Thanks to some zealous detectives, people sometimes mistake us for paparazzi. Most clients don't want to be seen visiting a private investigator. Okay, fair enough.
所以我就开了一家古物店来做掩饰，也方便社交。啊，侦探事务所在2楼。
So I opened an antiques shop as a cover to facilitate business. My office is on the 2nd floor. Oh, cool. So that's it. Initially, you thought that the storefront was only a cover. However, after entering the shop, you feel as if you stepped into another world. Oh, wow. It's so pretty. The shop isn't large, but it's filled with all sorts of antiques from different time periods. A striking clock faces towards you, a golden magpie perches on a branch, the beating of wings synchronized with the clock's movements. A wooden music box on an adjacent shelf is playing Claire de Lune, but no, I'm not a kid. No, it's funny by Claude Debussy. When you draw closer, you catch a whiff of sandalwood. No. The moment I saw that word, I was like, no, wow. Okay, anyways, moving on. I'm dead. A beautifully carved kerosene lamp, complete comic sets. A brass table lamp inspired by biblical stories. Claude Debussy was funny. It was funny. It made me chuckle. It's as if you've traveled back in time from the current year 2030. Excuse me, we're in like 2021. This is like 9 years in the future.
怎么样？我的古物店很棒吧？虽然还算不上是古董，但上个世纪的东西也有独特的年代韵味。
How do you like it here? Pretty impressive, isn't it? They may not be true antiques, but items from last century have a certain charm to them. I do like the shop. It's very, very nice. I would visit, like 100%, 10 out of 10 would visit like this shop and shop, you know. This is all your collection?
也不算是收藏吧，有的会自己留下，有的呀会给他们找到合适的主人。
In a sense, I might keep some, but I'm safeguarding the others until their true owners discover them.
这里的每一件事物都代表着一段独一无二的回忆，自然也会有不同的归宿。
Each item contains its own unique memories. They have a storied past and a future waiting ahead. Oh wow. Luke walks to the counter. With a press of a button, the ordinary counter morphs into a high-tech workstation. This must be the youngest item in the shop.
等我10分钟，保证能把记忆卡取出来。不信的话，你可以计时啊。
Give me 10 minutes to get the memory card out. You can even time me. I actually did. Okay, then starting from now.
哎，你耍赖！我工具还没拿出来呢。
That's cheating. I haven't even gotten my tools out yet. Your exaggerated moments of starting a timer on your phone urge Luke to hastily break out his toolbox from underneath the workstation. Oh wow. Luke is silent as he concentrates on the task at hand. This reminds you of him studying in the library for a competition all those years ago. Oh, look at that. We can see the full thing. Wow. I like the movements. It's very, very organic. Beautiful. The Luke before you is no longer the excitable and impulsive youth from your memories. He has grown into a mature and reliable man. Why does this story seem like they're just pushing us towards Luke? Ma'am, please, I have Artem. I have Artem to pursue first. Is this the result of 8 years worth of studies? You suddenly feel a bit sad that you two missed so much of each other's lives.
叔叔阿姨还好吗？回来之后还没来得及去看他们呢。
Okay. How are your parents? I haven't had time to visit them ever since I came back. Oh, when I was in university, Mom and Dad were recruited as researchers to a secret research project, just like you. Oh, like you. Oh, his shocked face. Luke's hands abruptly pause.
封闭实验
Secret research project? Yeah, no contact with the outside world allowed. They still regularly send me holiday postcards and money though. Oh, okay. I don't know when they'll return, but they're both research fanatics. I think they'll be fine. Oh, so I'm alone. Okay. Luke seems relieved after hearing you say this, and he resumes his work.
那就好。如果有机会联系到他们，就告诉他们我回魏明市来了。
That's good. If you have the chance, tell them I'm back in Stellis.
让他们不要担心，我会照顾你的。
Hey, oh my god, can Luke stop? Can Luke stop? Why this is an entire pitch, you know, to really advertise Luke Pierce. Stop giving me all these feelings. Oh my god, please. I'm here to pursue Artem, and then Luke is just here. Look at why do you have to say all these things? Let them know that they have nothing to worry about because I'll take care of you. Why? What business do you have saying all these super cheesy things? Oh my god. Please give Artem his chance to, you know, show me what he can do, you know, before I make my final decision. Please. Oh my god. Wow, you're such an adult now. You sure aren't planning to stir up some trouble. You sure you aren't planning to stir up some trouble? I used to always get scolded because you dragged me into one thing or another.
喂，不要提黑历史。
Come on, oh come on, that's all in the past.
喏，监控修好了，看看用了多久吧。
All right, mission accomplished. How long did it take? 7.5 minutes. You're amazing.
说到做到。
I don't falsely advertise. Okay, so you take the memory card from Luke and insert it into your tablet. Oh, okay. The surveillance footage shows the restaurant's front door.
根据方远先生的描述，卢海洋作案时间只能是在周五早上6点半到8点之间，那时候店里没人。
Okay, according to Mr. Green, Pedro could have only poisoned the water between 6:30 and 8 a.m. when no one was in. Oh. Okay, you fast forward the target time frame and play at double speed. Sure enough, Pedro appears on the video. There he is. He entered the restaurant at 7:28 a.m. and left at 7:43. That's more than enough time to commit the crime. In the video, you see Pedro putting his hand into a bulging pocket, which most likely holds the insecticide 330. However, due to the angle of the camera, the surveillance footage doesn't show Pedro actually committing the crime. I mean, evidence is evidence, you know, no matter what. The video captured not only Pedro, but the worker who delivered the tank of spring water, as well as Vernon and his caretaker leaving from and returning to the restaurant. The last part of the video shows Vernon destroying the CCTV camera after the Food and Safety Bureau staff had left.
方先生应该是在事故鉴定有结论后，想到美味咖的惯用手段和卢海洋的业绩压力，于是心生怀疑。
Mr. Green must have suspected Pedro's involvement due to Delhi Card's track record and his pressure to meet his target. He's probably not familiar with technology or only remembered the memory card was still inside after breaking it.
而且，他并不清楚卢海洋的具体作案手法，以为只是简单的往水桶里撒药，不然也不会留下这么多线索给我们了。
Also, he didn't know details about the crime. He probably thought Pedro put the insecticide only into the water tank, which must be why we found so many clues. Okay, we've collected quite a bit of evidence today. I'll need to organize it all for use in court on Wednesday.
我来帮你一起整理吧。
Let me help you with that. Wait, character visit has been unlocked. No. Okay, go to home. Visit. Okay, we're gonna unlock them soon. We can interact with characters here and to increase character affection and read their personal story. Chat. Hey yo. Hey yo, this is kinda Welcome to Interactions. You can interact with Luke in various ways and earn affection from Luke. Earn affection from Luke by swiping across him or playing games with him. Every day you can earn up to 1,000 affections across all visits. Okay, the remaining affection you can earn today is shown here. Payoff time. Progress through a character's personal story by increasing affection with them. Don't forget to visit. Yeah, I'm gonna do that later. But like, wow, this is very nicely animated though. Do I just... Oh my god, that is... This is kinda sus, not gonna lie, but I'm not complaining, I'm just saying. I don't think this is safe to play on stream. Just I don't this is yo, I didn't expect why is he so loud? I don't... This is kind of racy. Oh, okay. You can just tap him. Okay, fair enough. I like how like every time you start to like tap him, just watch where you pet watching you, right? you're like, this is on the stream, so you're watching me. I have to keep it as PG as possible. Everyone's watching, you know. The key? Can you tap the key? No? Tap the camera? No? You can't tap the camera? Oh, okay. We've gained all the affection. earn today. What's this game thing though? Oh. Rock, paper, scissors. Why is the voice so loud? It's like old to play.
Huh?
I lost. Wow, I feel stupid now. Wait. Hey, no. Okay, come on. I wanna win. No, I'm a sore loser. Wait, please, at least let me win once, please. I can't lose. Can't lose in a game of rock, paper, scissors, please. Come on. Oh yeah, I won! Okay, thank you. Yeah, I'm satisfied now. I just had to win once. Okay. We're all good now. We won. So let's go back to the story. I just wanted to lose. I just wanted to win. I didn't want to like lose in a game of rock, paper, scissors. Why does it keep... Okay, I guess this is because like... Why? No, why? I don't like it when they have notifications. That gives me anxiety. What? There is nothing, right? Okay, what is this? Okay, I haven't played this event yet because I still don't know what this is. But let's just claim. Let's just claim stuff. And maybe we can like upgrade. Like some, I don't know, like a duplicate. I feel like duplicate cards are still more important because they're duplicates, you know. Yeah, let's just evolve this a little more. And then can we wish? Oh yeah, we can. Okay, I'm just... Okay. Now we... Is there anything that's upgradable? Okay, this is upgradable. Okay, so definitely the more duplicates you have, okay, then let's just upgrade like some of them. So these are 3/3, right? And then, okay, we only have one blue card, so probably it may be better to have another blue card. Let's see the skill. This is boosting my defense. This is... Okay, this is making me stronger, I guess. So let me just boost him up a bit first. Okay, we got 2 blue. We got... Oh, okay, then we'll just increase this guy. Okay, so now we have 2 blue, 2 green, 2 red, and then if we need, we'll just choose any random one as backup, I assume. Cause this guy, wait, let me just see. Okay, this is reducing intuition defense, and then you have this pink card. Okay. Never mind. I have 3 friends. I don't... My guy, I don't have friends. What is this? Perfect partner. Oh, wait, my battery's running low. Let me... Okay. Wait, give me a moment to check whether I charged it. Wait. Okay, it's charging. Good. Oh, so we can choose the card we want as a perfect partner, I guess. I don't know. What's inventory? Oh. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. So we have to complete these to gain rookie. Okay, I got it. But I think for now we'll just continue with the story and then I'll like do the other stuff like later. There are chips, right? So the chips are either used to do that or we could have chips to get visions. Okay, got it. So let's just... Yeah, okay. Oh, and then we're close to finishing the first episode. That's great. Okay, but first I'm gonna go to the toilet because I drank a lot of water today, so let me just toilet break. I'm in Hey, be right back. I'll go to the toilet. Great, I'm back. Okay, let's go. Let's move on to the next story. Yes, let's go. And I see Artem over here, so maybe it's a time for Artem to, you know, appear. Probably. Hopefully. Let's go. No? Come on, Artem, please. Please. I'm on a thin line because of Luke right now. Artem, please. Okay, while organizing evidence with Luke, you suddenly think of something important. The chemical analysis and fingerprints we obtained may not be admissible evidence. I need to send them to the police to be reassessed by a qualified professional.
用不着，等下每一份检验结果，我都会打印成正式规格的报告并签字，一样是有效的。
No need. I'll print out formal reports for the evidence and sign them. My stamp of approval is just as valid. Luke is more qualified than we thought. Yours? How are you?
我可不是一般的侦探哟。
I am no ordinary private detective, says Luke. Luke is definitely hiding something from you. You're going to have a long chat with him once you have the time. And he's staring at us with puppy eyes. Nah, you ain't fooling no one. You hiding something, aren't you?
庭审时你打算采用什么策略？是直接针对每位咖，还是先针对卢海洋？
Okay, what's your strategy for approaching this trial? Are you going for Delicart or Pedro himself? Okay, we don't have enough evidence at this time to implicate Delicart. Okay. First things first, I'll have to prove that Pedro was the perpetrator. Then the judge can dismiss the plaintiff's claims for compensation from Mr. Green.
这样也好。哎，你打算怎么证明卢海洋有作案动机？
Makes sense. How are you gonna prove that Pedro had a motive to commit the crime, though? Oh, okay. Pedro's motive must be established first before he can be considered as a suspect. So there's a failed hard sell, right? And we could maybe choose Pedro's performance pressure. Let's find a connection. Okay, connection found. Pedro's motive was Delicart's pressure on him to reach his sales target. Mr. Green did say that Delicart punishes employees in a humiliating way if they don't reach their targets. Pedro could have reached his target if Mr. Green purchased Delicart's premium services, but Winnie said that Mr. Green turned him down on numerous occasions, which may have pushed him to take such drastic measures.
没错，点评软件上的差评，方先生根本不在乎。
Okay, true. Mr. Green doesn't really care about the negative comments on the app.
只有餐厅出了更严重的事故，他才能把公关服务推销出去。
Pedro could only sell his company services if something serious happened to the restaurant. Exactly.
有了动机之后，就要看卢海洋有没有作案的机会了。比如，时间上是否允许。
Okay, so we have to prove pretty much that he had opportunity, for example, a window of time he could have committed the crime. Okay. Would Pedro have contaminated the water in the established time frame? I guess we can compare these two. Okay, connection found. The surveillance video shows that Pedro was in the restaurant at a time that Mr. Green said no one was around. By then, the spring water had already been delivered. But
监控只拍到了卢海洋前来，但并没有拍到他携带灭虫330。 指证他持有作案工具。
Yeah,
需要
so
其他证据。
it only shows his presence, not the insecticide itself. We'll need other evidence to prove that he possessed tools for the crime. What is this evidence folder? What do we have? Oh, okay. We have a lot of things. Okay. Okay, so these two. So the receipt shows part of the purchases, a payment account number which matches Pedro's personal bank account number from the restaurant's transaction records.
而且卢海洋还自己主动暴露了一个破绽给我
And Pedro also unwittingly gave us a piece of evidence. What was that? Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Oh. We all saw him operating the smart lock and entering the restaurant. Now we have proof that the fingerprints on the receipt and in the smart locks database belong to him. Therefore, he was the one who had the toxic insecticide.
虽然指纹归属是我们推断出来的，但如果卢海洋不承认，可以请求法官当庭比对。
Okay, if he denies it, you can ask the judge to compare the fingerprints in court. Pedro must have brought the receipt to the restaurant while he was committing the crime, else it wouldn't have found its way under the cabinet by accident.
我们在餐厅的抽水器上发现了与小票一致的指纹， 以及灭虫330的成分。
Okay, so we found the same prints on the receipt and the water dispenser, and we know insecticide 330's chemical composition.
事故鉴定报告中也提到，导致食物中毒的成分与灭虫330的成分一致，但
Okay, the FSB's incident report indicates that the causative agents for the food poisonings are the same ones as those found in insecticide 330, but there's still room for Pedro to bluff his way out. He could claim that he bought the insecticide and took apart the dispenser, but didn't go through with it.
我们确实没有更直接的证据了，但向法庭证明本案是投放危险物质案，还是足够的。
Okay, we don't have more direct evidence to prove that he did it, but what we do have should be sufficient to prove to the court that this was a premeditated crime. Okay. True, once this becomes a criminal case, Mr. Green will be off the hook. We'll also have more time to find more evidence. Makes sense.
好啦，忙了大半天了，你也累了。哎，我们一起去吃饭吧。
Alright, that's enough for one day. You must be exhausted. Let's grab dinner together. Sorry, Luke, but I don't have much of an appetite. I should head back to the office and organize everything. Aww. The MC's face though, like, relatable. I'm really grateful for all your help today, but let's do this another time. I'll be off.
哎，等等，我送你回律所。你这样走，我不放心。
Wait, at least let me send you. I'm worried about you walking over like this. We'll get to see Artem again. Luke calls a taxi and escorts you to the law firm's ground floor. You enter the elevator and lean against the wall, watching Luke's concerned face gradually disappear as the elevator door closes. You feel the weight of everything sinking in. Exhaustion and distress set in, and you can't help but slowly fall to the ground, hugging your calves. Oh no. Oh no, I'm under pressure right now. Oh no. What will happen to Vernon and his restaurant? How can you bring Delicart to justice? Will your first collaboration with Luke as an adult end in failure? That's kind of sorry, I hit the table. Kind of deep though. You won't accept that. Okay. When you return to the office and see its familiar logo, something important hits you. Wait, nobody told me that. Isn't the PAX group our own client? Chills go down your spine as you realize the implications of this situation.
怎么了？案件的调查还顺利吗？
Oh, Artem, it's so nice to see you again. Oh my god, look at that. You look dashing. What is it? How was your investigation? As soon as you see Artem, the weight on your shoulders doubled. Oh man, I would have just passed out on the floor. Like, I would have just been like, I'm out. And I'll just like, you know, just go on the floor. I'll just lie down on the carpet face down. I'm just like, man, I can't do this anymore. Artem, isn't the PAX group our client?
没错，案子与合约有关。
Correct. Are they involved? This isn't a simple food poisoning case, but a premeditated criminal case. Pedro Brooks from Delicart poisoned the water. Delicart seems to be affiliated with the PAX group.
怎么，何因为此威胁你了？
And did they threaten you? Not Pax, but Pedro.
那你是怎么回复他
How
的？
did you respond? I told him I told him that even the Von Hagen family isn't above the law and that I'd fight to take I'd take this fight to the Supreme Court if I have to. I had an adrenaline rush when I said that, but we're in trouble now, Artem.
做得不错，是我们特密斯的人。
Well said, you're one of Themis's people. Huh?
且不说合印资本还没有正式投资美味咖，就算投了，也没什么可怕的。
Oh, okay. Pax Capital hasn't officially invested in Delicard. Even if they had, there's nothing to worry about.
要是合印会为这样一家企业中断与我们律所的合作，那就中断吧。
If Pax is willing to cut ties with us for such a company, so be it.
如果合印董事长陆元熙，或者他们家继承人陆锦和要因此找你麻烦，你就告诉我。
If Pax's president Austin von Hagen or his successor Marius, I don't know how to pronounce his name, von Hagen trouble you because of this, tell me. And this Marius guy is one of the potential love interests of this game. Marius von Hagen.
我帮你告到合印破产。
I'll help them sue you. I'll help you sue them into bankruptcy. Oh god, that's pretty drastic, but thanks. Upon hearing Artem's words, you're momentarily taken aback, but then you burst into laughter.
你笑什么？
What is so funny? I never thought I'd hear you say something like that. Thank you, Artem. I've realized how fortunate I am to work at Themis. Oh, ding dong. Receiving rare praise from Artem lifts your spirits. Before you can discuss case details with him, Winnie arrives at the law firm. She gives you a piece of key evidence on Vernon's behalf. Kitchen surveillance. They had more than one CCTV. Vernon would rather this evidence not be used in court since he still holds conflicting feelings towards Pedro. Oh yay, I leveled up. Yay. Okay, anyways. Ooh, we're gonna fight. Shady. Shopkeeper, you had ordered soup noodles but didn't receive any. Soup, you called the restaurant and the owners arguing with you. Where's my soup? Okay, we need a lot of blue for this. Oh, okay. Okay, I can get on with this. Let's go. Let's try. Oh, why is it always so loud? Wait, let me turn it down. Okay. Oh, wait. Why is it still low battery? I thought I'm charging. Is it not charging? Is it charging too slowly? What's happening? Excuse me, iPad, please. Please, I'm still streaming. You can't just lose battery like this. Okay. I think it's fine. Okay. Let's start with powerful one, maybe this one. You want soup at water though. That's kind of stupid, but okay. Okay, we're gonna push this guy down too. Wave 2. The soup costs extra, else you can eat the noodles dry. What? Are we arguing about soup noodles? Okay, wait. Ah, please, please hang in there, iPad, please. The soup costs extra. Okay, wait. So we have wait. Okay, we'll attack with this. Okay, that is all. Very nice. Oh yeah. I like high key fear for my iPad. Wait, let me just check. Come on, please. Please. Why aren't you charging like, or at least charging fast enough? Maybe this game sucks the life out of the battery, but it's fine. This is fine. It should be fine. Oh wow. Oh, we're gonna fight. Okay. Oh, I hope. Please, please, at least like don't let my iPad fail me. Please. Wednesday court day. Sitting in the waiting room, you look at the memory card Winnie gave you with a heavy heart.
方爷爷说，厨房里其实还有一个监控，位置很隐秘，是当初卢海洋提议帮他装的。
Grandpa Vern said there's actually another CCTV camera hidden in the kitchen. It was actually Pedro who suggested it. Uh-huh.
本来是防着帮工偷懒的，谁能想到？
Oh, it was originally installed to keep an eye on the staff, but now...
方爷爷希望这份证据能不用就不用，不然就像是他老人家亲自把卢海洋送进监狱一样，他心里不好受。
Grandpa Vern hopes this evidence won't be needed. Using it would make him feel like he's putting Pedro in prison with his own hands. Oh, Grandpa, please, don't feel like that. Oh, that's some solid evidence. Oh man, that's definitely gonna put him into jail. The surveillance video clearly shows Pedro disassembling the dispenser and putting insecticide 330 into the tank at 7:32 a.m. on the day of the incident. In the video, Pedro seems to be worried that he put in too much insecticide. Ayo. He pours out some contaminated water and dilutes the tank with tap water. After that, Pedro disappears for a few minutes. You suspect that he felt the water was too dilute and added more insect. Yo, my man went back and forth adding more insecticide. However, this part wasn't seen by the camera or Vernon. This is why Vernon didn't clean the dispenser even though he knew Pedro was the culprit. Pedro must have been conflicted about his actions, but his desire for monetary wealth eventually prevailed. You obtained key evidence to win the trial, but you don't feel happy about it. Oh, you suddenly receive a text message from Luke. He's on a special case so he can't come. Oh, I wish he could see me win this trial with his own eyes. Aww. Artem stands before the French windows and hesitates for a moment before making a call on his phone.
莫毅，是我。
Vin, it's me. And Vin is another available man to romance in this game.
我物色了一个新人加入调查组，按照程序，要由你来进行心理评估。
I found a candidate. As per procedure, please conduct a psychological evaluation.
我在和你谈公务，我的私人问题，不劳多问。
We're discussing work, not my personal feelings.
我会安排他尽快和你见面。
Oh, right. I'll arrange for her to meet you ASAP. And her, which probably means me. So this is where the real story is starting. Ooh. Civil Court 10.
清平私房菜食物中毒案正式开庭审理。
The judge is very handsome. I just have to put that out there. The judge is very handsome. But yes, anyways, continuing. This court is in session for the food poisoning case at Penny's Comfort Foods.
首先由原告律师陈述诉讼请求。
The prosecution will first give their opening statement.
我巴德尔律师事务所高级律师蔡浩宇代表张强等6名顾客向清平私房菜馆提起诉讼。
Oh, this lawyer looks slimy too, not gonna lie. Your Honor, I am Howard Styler from Balder Legal Office, and I will be representing John Doe and 5 other victims in a class action lawsuit against Penny's Comfort Foods.
本月3日，周五，张强等6名顾客在清平私房菜用午餐。
Okay. On Friday the 3rd of this month, John Doe and 5 other victims ate lunch at Penny's Comfort Foods.
因餐厅管理不善，将杀虫药粉误撒入烹制海鱼豆腐汤的山泉水中，导致我的委托人们腹痛腹泻，入院治疗。
Due to faulty management, insecticide contaminated the water used to make seafood tofu soup, causing my clients to seek medical attention for abdominal pain and diarrhea.
本次事故不仅对我的委托人们的健康造成了损害，更给他们留下了严重的心理阴影。
This incident not only damaged my client's health, but also caused severe psychological trauma.
至今，我的委托人们都无法重拾对美食的热爱之心，每天都食不下咽。
Okay, I'm gonna lower the volume a bit because the music's kind of loud. They have been unable to enjoy food without concerns to this day.
因此，我的委托人们主张向清平私房菜索赔，每人20万。
Wow, as such, on behalf of my clients, I am demanding 30K in compensation from Penny's Comfort Foods for each victim.
被告对原告的陈述是否有异议？
The defense may now present their opening statement. Oh, okay, this is me. Your Honor, I will be wholly present. Oh, I messed up. No, I'm supposed to be in court. Your Honor, I will be wholly representing the defendant and owner of Penny's Comfort Foods, Mr. Vernon Green, due to his poor physical health. The plaintiff is demanding compensation from Penny's Comfort Foods based on the assumption that this is a case of food poisoning due to negligence. Oh, that's kind of cool. I don't think lawyers pose like that in the office, in court, but like... However, this assumption is completely wrong. This case is actually a deliberate and premeditated criminal case. Mr. Green is not at fault and should not be responsible for compensatory damages.
被告是拿不出赔偿金吗？逼得你这位代理律师当庭说胡话。
Are you making these absurd claims because your client is unable to pay compensation?
食物中毒案的定性可是有食品安全局出具的事故鉴定报告为依据的。
The nature of this case has already been validated by the Food Safety Bureau's incident report. Objection. That report only validates the fact that the food was contaminated by a toxic substance. It does not prove intent. The true perpetrator of this crime is Mr. Pedro Brooks, a sales manager at Delicart.
代理律师，卢海洋目前与本案并不相关，你如何证明是他投毒？请出示证据。
Counsel, Mr. Brooks is currently unrelated to this case. Do you have evidence to support your claim? I will present sufficient evidence to the court, and I ask that Mr. Brooks be called to the stand.
合理请求，传唤卢海洋到庭。
The court calls Mr. Pedro Brooks to the stand.
我看老头子是疯了，他狗急跳墙盘咬我。
The old man's crazy. He's just trying to drag me down with him.
虽然卢海洋的话不太好听，但是我也认为代理律师是在故弄玄虚，转移视线。
Despite Mr. Brooks' emotional outburst, I also suspect that the defense's smoke and mirrors are an attempt to divert our attention. Let me take a sip of water. Man, people talk a lot in court. I really admire them though. Like, they don't even like drink water, and they don't stutter. Okay, according to the FSB's incident report, the affected customers had ingested toxic substances found in insecticides, resulting in abdominal pain and diarrhea. However, Mr. Green had instructed his employees to purchase Bug Out, which is an insecticide that is not toxic to humans.
这只是方远的一面之词，他偷着买了其他有害的药粉，也不会告诉你。
Mr. Green's words themselves are hardly convincing evidence. Even if he did purchase a toxic insecticide, he would not dare tell you. Objection. His words can be substantiated. This is intense. The poisoning insecticide was purchased by Mr. Brooks. The evidence is... We're gonna pull out the evidence. We're gonna pull out the evidence. Let's go. Let's go. Okay. A receipt for the professional-grade insecticide 330 was found inside the restaurant. Insecticide 330 is harmful to humans. While it is not lethal, it causes abdominal pain and diarrhea. These symptoms correspond to the FSB's findings in their incident report. The payment account number shown on the receipt matched Mr. Brooks' personal bank account number.
这是你猜的，小票上只显示了一部分账号，那不是我的账号。
That's a wild guess. The receipt only shows part of an account number. You can't prove that it's my account. Getting real. Yeah, this is getting real. Hey, yo, don't interrupt the moment. With my low battery 10%. Okay, we're going to... Oh. So we're going to present his account records. The partial account number matches the account number you gave Mr. Green when he was financially supporting you during college.
都说了，只有前4位和末尾4位一样而已，不能证明是我。
Which part of partial don't you understand? You can't prove that it's my account number. Why is she aggressively scratching her head in like court? Like, I don't think you're supposed to scratch your head in court. What if your dandruff gets all over the counter though? That's true, I have to show other evidence.
这是你猜的，小票上只显示了一部分账号，那不是我的账号。
Okay, so that's a wild guess, blah blah blah. Now we are going to present the fingerprints. Intentional contamination constitutes a criminal case. As long as the evidence is shared with the prosecution, it is a simple matter to identify the account owner. Additionally, your fingerprints were found on the receipt. Mr. Brooks, please explain this.
就算是我买的，但也不能证明是我投毒啊。
This is so intense. Even if I bought it, that doesn't prove I poisoned the water.
我租的房子最近闹蟑螂，是我买了自己用的，大概是去找老头的时候落下的吧。
I bought it for personal use because there's an infestation problem at my place. I probably dropped it when I went to visit the old man. When did you visit Mr. Green?
当然是案发之后。我们每位咖公司可是有定制公关服务的。
After the incident, of course, Delicart provides customized public relations services to its clients.
我去找方远是为了帮他解决麻烦，谁知他那个守财奴为了钱连餐厅的声誉都不顾。
I went to Vernon to help him out, but who knew that Penny Pincher cares more for his money than his restaurant's reputation?
我同意，法官阁下。 我的委托人们曾尝试与方远庭外和解，但对方坚决不肯支付赔偿金，这才闹到法庭上来。
I can attest to that, Your Honor. My clients attempted to settle with Mr. Green out of court, but he refused to pay compensation. Hence, we are right here. We are here right now. Object. Yo, there's a lot of objection. Mr. Saiter, your clients attempted to extort Mr. Green for a compensation value that far exceeded the legal limit. Of course, my client would not pay. Mr. Brooks, you did indeed visit Mr. Green at his restaurant, but not only after the incident. Pedro went to the restaurant before the incident and had the chance to poison the water. The evidence is this. CCTV footage shows that on the morning of the incident, you entered Penny's Comfort Foods at 7:28 a.m. and left at 7:43 a.m. The footage also shows that the water was delivered at 6 a.m. Mr. Green and the caretaker were buying ingredients between 6:30 and 8 a.m. and the server started work at 9 a.m. While you were at the restaurant, no one else was present and the spring water had already been delivered. Can you explain what you were doing there? Why would you be alone in an empty restaurant for 15 minutes? Oh, this is getting real.
我本来是想向方远推销高级会员，但他不在，我就等了一会儿。
I wanted to sell Vernon our premium services. He wasn't in, so I waited a bit.
我看他半天不回来，就离开了。
It was taking forever, so I left.
法官阁下，我认为卢海洋给出的解释很合理。
Your Honor, Mr. Brooks' explanation is reasonable. You know, like the funny part about this is that we actually have super solid evidence, but we're just not like bringing it out. Like, in respect to Mr. Vernon, we're just not bringing out the footage that clearly shows him poisoning the water, and that's kind of sad.
他只是一个勤劳的销售经理，每天为了业绩奔波，十分辛苦。
He's simply a sales manager who works hard to perform well. Objection. Objection. He works hard, but not in an ethical manner. The evidence that proves Mr. Brooks poisoned the spring water is... Wait, isn't it? What? Wait. Okay, let's try this. Oh no, no. Eh? What, this? There's only front door surveillance, there's no... Okay, wait. Let me just read. Wait, is it? Wait, no, I'm confused. Okay, wait, we'll just do... No, it's not. Wait, which... Hey yo, which one is it? Oh, okay. Mr. Brooks, okay, you did not idly wait during those 15 minutes at the restaurant. A large amount of insecticide 330 residue was found inside the water dispenser, and your fingerprints were present as well. How do you explain this?
我是
I was...
我只是口渴，就用抽水器抽了点山泉水喝。
I was just thirsty, so I got some water from the dispenser. Then why were your fingerprints found near the internal filter? That... There is nothing to say. Wait, I skip. Okay. There is nothing to say. The insecticide did not contaminate the water by accident, as stated in the FSB's incident report. This is a case of intentional poisoning.
出水器出水太慢，我拆开检查了一下而已。
The water was coming out too slowly, so I took apart the dispenser to check it. Do not lie, the water dispenser operates without any problems. I can demonstrate here in court.
我没有理由这么做呀，我为什么要给餐厅投毒？
I don't have any reason to do that. Why would I try to damage the restaurant's reputation?
我当初来到魏明市， 只是一个高中辍学的打工仔，是方远先生鼓励我参加自学考试，我才能上大学改变命运。
Oh, this is so sad that he's using this like against Mr. Vernon. When I first came to Stellis, I was a job-seeking high school dropout. Vernon was the one who encouraged me to study for college entrance exams so I could change my destiny.
我一直感激方远先生。加入美月卡之后，也是想方设法帮餐厅扩大经营，我没有理由害他呀。
I've always been grateful to Vernon. After joining Delicart, I tried to help him expand his business. I have no reason to get him into trouble. You are lying through your teeth. Mr. Brooks, how shameless can you be? Can you actually say that in court? I'm like curious. Can you actually like say that to people in court?
代理律师，请注意言辞。
Oh, okay, you're not.
针对罗海洋的质疑，你有反驳的证据
Thanks for
吗？
answering my question. You're not supposed to do that. Counsel, please mind your speech. Do you have evidence to refute what Mr. Brooks said?
法官阁下，我看代理律师已经黔驴技穷了。
Your Honor, I believe that the defense has shown their entire hand. Mr. Brooks has a motive to commit such crime, and the evidence is this. Mr. Brooks, you entered the restaurant last Saturday when I was collecting evidence. You openly confessed that you are immensely pressured to meet your sales targets, and that you want Mr. Green to purchase Delicart's premium public relations services. If the food poisoning incident did not occur, then you would not have had a reason to convince Mr. Green to buy Delicart's premium services, correct? Mr. Green cares not about the negative reviews written by Delicart's ghostwriters. The positive reviews in his feedback book are worth infinitely more to him. Who stands to benefit the most from such an incident? Everything you said that day was recorded, unexpected, no? In this recording, your tone of voice does not convey even a silver of gratitude.
因为我能闹着好处就说是我投毒，我不服。
Why he started? Even if I would benefit from the incident, it doesn't prove that I did it.
录音确实能证明卢海洋与方远的关系恶劣，但不能够直接指证卢海洋作案。
The recording shows that Mr. Brooks and Mr. Green are not on the best of terms, but it does not prove that Mr. Brooks committed the crime.
代理律师，你之前说抽水器上有卢海洋的指纹，但是否只有卢海洋的指纹呢？
Lol. Miss Sands, you said earlier that Mr. Brooks' fingerprints were on the water dispenser, but were his the only ones found? The fingerprints of Mr. Green and the restaurant's two employees were also found on the exterior of the water dispenser. However, they are in charge of the restaurant's daily operations. It is not out of the ordinary for their fingerprints to be on the dispenser.
但也不能排除是餐厅员工故意拆开抽水器投毒的呀。
Okay, we cannot rule out the possibility that one of the restaurant's employees disassembled the dispenser and poisoned the water.
把药粉弄进滤芯里，也可以借助别的工具完成。
Contaminating the filter without leaving behind fingerprints can be achieved with the assistance of tools.
如此一来，餐厅要承担的责任就更大了。代理律师，我看你是搬起石头砸自己的脚啊！
If this happens to be true, then the restaurant would be in more dire straits. You may have shot yourself in the foot. Hey, he's kind of rude though. I don't think he's supposed to say that in court either.
代理律师，目前看来，卢海洋虽然有重大嫌疑，但仍缺少指证其有罪的决定性证据。
Miss San, Mr. Brooks may be a key suspect, but there is no decisive evidence that proves his guilt. Should I show them the kitchen surveillance video? You probably should though, shouldn't you? Judge is totally paid off. Oof. You look at the gallery and see both Artem and Winnie sitting there. Artem looks at you in a cool and calm manner, as if he's telling you that a lawyer's judgment should not be influenced by their feelings when in court. That is true. However, you can't ignore Winnie's bloodshot eyes. Behind the video is an old man's internal struggle. No matter what Pedro does, Mr. Green will still regard him as a son. If Pedro's convicted, Mr. Green would be devastated. At this time, I feel like it's still best to let it go because this is the law. Oh man. So I should... Personally, I would just present it at this point. I'm just following my heart, okay? This is what Sanshroomy would do in court. I would present it. I'm sorry. Goodbye. I have one more piece of evidence to submit to the court. Mr. Brooks, do you remember installing a hidden camera in the restaurant's kitchen for Mr. Green so he could monitor the staff? Oh man, you didn't. Oh wow. That was a lot to read. Okay. Back then you studied hard to get into college and truly were grateful for what Mr. Green had done for you. Remember this. It was neither Mr. Green nor I who proved your guilt in court today, but the old Pedro who still had a conscience. You submit the kitchen surveillance video to the judge. It clearly shows Pedro putting the insecticide into the water, leaving no room for doubt. In the gallery, Vernon sighs. You don't know when he had arrived.
吴海洋，对此你有何解释？
Mr. Brooks, what do you have to say in your defense? I'm so sorry. I hope Vernon doesn't have a heart attack, but I did what I had to do. I wouldn't choose not submitting the evidence because that is I don't think that's right. What? Okay, sorry. What? Recommended. What is 3575? Oh, okay. Oh, do I just... Oh, okay. My deck power. Oh, yeah. And the top right. Okay, so we're definitely stronger. I think it's fine. Okay, let me just shoot him off with this first. With green. Okay, then we'll shoot this with the blue one. And then we'll shoot this with the blue one. I almost succeeded. Why do you have to interfere? That is none of my concern, my guy, but okay, I'll just... Okay, then I will do that. And then... Okay, we'll do that, and then we'll do this. Okay, then we need to replenish our cards. Oh, Low battery remaining. Hang in there. We won! That is all. I like the cute animation where she like fist pumps. She's like,
我
oh
不是自
yeah.
愿的，我是被逼的，是公司逼我这么做的。我们公司其他人的业绩都是这么做出来的。
Your Honor, I didn't do it willingly. Delicart forced me. They forced us to do these things to reach our target. You should probably expose the whole like making you slap yourself in front of the team. You should probably expose the company.
你不能只判我一个有罪啊！要抓就把他们一起抓了。
If you're gonna convict me, then you should round all of them.
卢海洋，本庭是否可以认为你是承认投毒行为了？
Mr. Brooks, do you confess to the crime of poisoning the water?
本庭宣判，
This is so epic. Okay, wait, let me louden the volume just a bit. The court pronounces its verdict.
原告张强等6人诉被告清平私房菜误操作致使食物中毒案，经过审理，案件性质产生重大变化。
The plaintiff sued Mr. Green for food poisoning due to management negligence. This trial has significantly changed the nature of this case.
本庭宣判，驳回原告的赔偿请求。
Oh, sorry.
法庭
Okay, I'm sorry. Wait. Okay, the court rejects the plaintiff's claim for damages. Whether Mr. Green is liable for compensatory damages will be determined after the conclusion of the respective criminal bailiff. Take Mr. Brooks into the custody of the court and transfer him to law enforcement.
方圆，你不能这样，你怎么能害我？
This is so mean. This is so mean. Can like Pedro shut up about Mr. Vernon? Like he did everything for you, and you did that to him. Like go away, man, and go to jail. Vernon, how could you do this to me? How could you? Pedro tries to break away from the bailiff's grip. Actually, let me just do a quick Google. What is a bailiff? Okay. A bailiff is a law officer who makes sure that the decisions of a court are obeyed. Bailiffs can take a person's furniture or possessions away if the pretty much like they are a law officer. Okay. Both Winnie and Artem are standing up and shielding Vernon from Pedro. Seeing Pedro like this, Vernon can't help but weep. This is so sad. This is so sad.
你真是无药可救，怪我。如果我当初把你关在家里，不让你去上班，也许
This is not your
你就
fault.
不会有今天了。
There is really no hope for you. Maybe it wouldn't have come to this if I kept you home and didn't let you find a job. Mr. Vernon Green, this is absolutely not your fault at all. Please, don't doubt yourself. This is not your fault at all. Vernon turns and leaves the courtroom with Winnie's help.
什么？输给左然还不够，我竟然还输给了特米斯的初级律师。
This guy is busy with his
我不
pride.
相信。
He's funny. What? Not only did I lose to Artem, but also to their junior lawyer. Unbelievable.
审判结束，
Ooh. Court is adjourned. Yo, this is so epic. Oh my god, look at me go. Wow. Oh my god, okay, let's finish it. Soon after you had submitted all the evidence to the prosecution, the criminal court took charge of Pedro's case. With all the conclusive evidence, he was swiftly convicted and sentenced. Mr. Green and Penny's Comfort Foods were not found at fault and therefore not responsible for compensation. Pedro was liable for the victim's compensatory damages. Oh, word has it that Pedro revealed Delicart's shady and illegal business practices in court, which led to a lawsuit against the company. Good! Yay! Let's clap. Okay, at least they exposed like the bad, practices of the company. Okay. And now all previous talks of investments remain just that.
你在想什么？
Oh, Artem, what's on your mind? Thinking about the case now reminds you of how heartbroken Vernon was. Yeah. Immersed in those somber thoughts, it takes you a while to realize that Artem is calling you. He clears his throat like an uncle. Yes, ahem. Sorry, Artem, were you talking to me?
庭审那天，为什么会主动出示录像？这不是你一贯的风格。
Why did you present the surveillance video in court? It wasn't your style. What was my style before? Because I knew what Mr. Green really wanted wasn't to save Pedro, but for him to turn a new leaf. If I withheld that video, Pedro would have never reflected on his own mistakes. He would have continued farther down his twisted path, and Delicart's crimes wouldn't have been brought to light.
很好，你越来越成熟了。
Good, you're growing as a professional. Oh, Artem, you're complimenting me, huh? Artem, are you really praising me?
不要得意忘形。
Don't be complacent, oh my. Artem sighs. He turns around and picks up a few blue packets from his desk.
海奥森冲剂，也和本案有关吗？是方远服用的。
Are Aerson's effervescent packets related to the case? Are they Mr. Green's? They're his, but they're not related to the case. They were probably brought back together with all the other evidence. When you left the restaurant that day, Luke had packed the evidence bag for you. He likely threw the packets in without much thought. They weren't needed during the trial, so I put them in my folder. I haven't organized it yet.
方远最近精神状态怎么样？
How is Mr. Green's recent mental state? Are these things related? Oh my god. When he said that Mr. Green was diagnosed with depression, it might have been caused by Pedro's chronic harassment. Thankfully, the case is over, so he can properly rest up.
这样，
I see. Oh no. Artem is silent for a moment and then suddenly changes the subject.
我有一份文件，需要送给一位名叫莫毅的心理学家。
I have a document that needs to be delivered to a psychologist named Vin Richter.
我现在走不开，帮我跑一趟好吗？地址就在文件盒上。
Artem is plotting something because of the voice call previously. I can't leave right now. Can you deliver this for me? The address is on the box. Vin Richter. You've heard this name before. He is a widely renowned expert on psychology. They say he has focused on criminal psychology in the past 2 years and has published many papers. Many prestigious universities wanted him as a lecturer. Criminal psychology is cool. Like, that's kind of cool. Like, that's like really, really, really cool, kind of cool. For some reason, Vin Richter refused. all of their invitations and quietly settled down in Stellis. I wanted to meet Vin for a while.
我和莫毅只是公务往来，并没有私交。
He and I are only business associates, not friends.
和他交谈时，你注意分寸。
Be mindful when talking to him. Don't worry, I'll treat him like a business partner.
好，辛苦你了，路上注意安全。
Thanks and take care. Meanwhile, oh, the music though. Meanwhile, at the PAX Group's headquarters, the atmosphere in the president's office is suffocating.
说呀，做投资决策的时候不是挺爽快的吗？怎么现在话都不敢说了？
Speak, you were so quick to make those investment decisions. Why don't you dare say anything now?
小卢总，咱们也不知道每位咖的利润都是靠压榨商户挣来的呀。
I think that's Marius. Marius. I seriously don't know how to pronounce his name. Marius von Hagen. Mr. von Hagen, we did not know that Delicart earned their profits from extorting their clients.
他们藏得那么深，咱们就算听到风声，也抓不到证据啊。
They kept everything under a tight lid. Even if we heard rumors, we could not get any evidence.
你的意思是，合印投资的大数据中心是个摆设？我每年花以亿为单位的资金维护的，是一个电子词典，而不是超级计算机。
Oh. What you're saying is that the big data lab that costs us millions to maintain every year is just a fancy dictionary, not a supercomputer?
不，我不是这个意思。
No, that is not what I meant at all.
还抓不到证据，我又没要求你们上庭打官司。
Couldn't get any evidence. It's not like I told you to prepare for court. Ooh.
我看你们是根本没重视过对企业信誉与社会责任的调查吧。
Oh God, this is... From where I'm standing, it looks like you've lacked the decency and responsibility to even look into them.
就算没有他们欺压商户、违法经营的案子，只凭他们制造虚假差评这一条，我合印就绝不会投他。
Even if they didn't extort their clients, the PAX Group and I would never support them for falsifying reviews.
你给我记住，只要合印集团一天姓陆，就一天不赚这种黑心钱。
You remember this. As long as the PAX Group is under the name of Von Hagen, it will not profit even a single cent through such underhanded means.
是，属下记住了，我回去一定严肃处理经办人。
Yes, sir. I understand. I will immediately handle whoever is responsible.
处理经办人，不必了，先处理你自己吧。合印资本是我母亲留下的产业，现在风气不正，可有你不少功劳啊。
Wow. Whoever is responsible, no need. Handle yourself first. Pax Capital is my mother's legacy, and you've played a large part in dirtying it.
我怎么听说那个美味咖的老板是你亲戚啊？
I hear that the owner of Delicart is your relative.
小陆总，我
Mr. Von Hagen,
看在你是公司老人的份上，我就不起诉你了。
You've been with the company for a long time, so I'll spare you a lawsuit.
你可以出去了，不要让我在合印旗下的任何一个地方再看到你。
You may leave. Do not show your face on any of the PAX Group's properties ever again. Sheesh. Yo, that... And oh my god, we can visit Artem. Artem, let's visit Artem. Oh my god, sorry. That was really hot. Woo! wow, wow, this is amazing. Okay, wait, let me just claim everything. Whoa, that was epic. That was like super epic. Wow. Oh, okay. Confirm. Oh, okay. So wait, no. That's the friends thing. Wait, okay. Oh my god, if that isn't hot, I don't know what was hot. Whoa! Can visit. Oh my god, Artem. It's okay. We unfortunately we can't earn any more affection today, but I just wanna chat with you. Oh, okay. If I touch your hand. Oh. Thank you for the watch band. I've been wearing it. We gave the chat immediately starts petting. I'm sorry. I really wanted to see Artem. No, but we gave Artem the watch band. Look. Thank you for the watch band. I've been wearing it. Artem, hello, toasted cashews. We're playing Tears of Themis right now. You seem to be very familiar with Artem. That's right. Okay, that's all. But it's so cute. We can just wee. Okay. Yes. Sorry. I couldn't control myself. Just wanted to visit Artem. You know, it's in the title, you know. I'm still loyal to Artem, I swear. Konnichiwa! Oh, konnichiwa! Thank you for the follow, Toasted Cashews. My intro, thank you. Hello, my name is Sanshroomy and I am a mushroom fairy. And right now we are playing Tears of Themis, but I am gonna stop soon because I need to eat my dinner. And whenever I play Tears of Themis, because there's just so much dialogue to like talk, I get like hungry really easily because I'm hungry. But yeah, wait, let me just, okay. Yeah, I think we're gonna end it off soon, but let's end it off with a wish. Let's end it off with a poll, because what is more addicting than gacha and gambling? Not that I advocate gambling in real life, but in games, you know, you do what you do. Your voice is really nice. Oh my god, no! Ah! Thank you so much. Ah! No, stop. I get embarrassed easily. Thank you so much. I'm glad you like it though. Soothing, chill, sand voice. Thank you. I'm glad you like it. Okay, let's wish. Let's pull. We're gonna pull in the event banner because it honestly doesn't matter to me. But I would be happy to get any more Artem cards. So let us pull. Let's go. Whoa! Okay, I'll let the pretty animation play. I won't do it for single pulls, but when we pull a 10, I'll let the animation play. Oh, I actually quite like it when we get duplicate cards too, because that means that they will be more powerful. That's so cute. Look, Gourmet. He's eating. Okay, no. It's my policy not to scream into the mic, so I had to hold back a bit, but we got Artem. We got Artem. Artem's SR card. Artem wing. Okay. Breathe. Ah, but look, he's so cute too. Look, he's so cute. He's so old, baby. Oh, Artem. That's a good looking card. Yeah, right. Oh, Finn. Oh, I can't pronounce his name. Marius? Oh, Artem. Artem. Oh, more duplicate. Okay. Artem. Artem. Very good. I'm happy. I'm happy as long as we have Artem. Okay, let's level up our cards. I like to stack our cards together. Okay, let's go. We'll stack this. Okay, we'll stack this. And then we'll stack... We'll stack this. Wow. Artem, you're so hot. Oh my god. Hello. Let me just risk it all for Artem. Oh, and we have a story. Okay, we'll do that next time, okay? We'll do that next time, and then after that, oh, okay. Let's upgrade. I'll upgrade. I'll focus more on the duplicate cards first. Okay. And okay. Yeah, okay. Okay. Yay! We finished it! Oh, okay. Nice. We finished it! Yay! Woo! Woo! Wait, let me change it. Yes. Yes! Oh my god. Oh my god, you... Okay, I'll just put all my SR cards. Might as well. Oh my god, Artem, you're so sexy. Woo! I'm going all in for Artem. Okay, yeah, woo! Congrats, thank you. Okay, beautiful. It's a great time to stop right here. That was great. That was beautiful. Okay. It is time... Oh, low battery again. It is time to... stop for today. But thank you so much for coming and watching the story. Probably I'll definitely stream again on Friday, same time, 3 p.m. GMT plus 8. So that's like you just minus 3 hours from before, like in your time zone. Yeah, so I will be sorry. I'll be streaming then. And yeah, probably I will be streaming, continuing Tears of Themis again, because I don't think there are any updates for Genshin. I primarily play Genshin, but as long as there are no updates, I will probably continue with Tears of Themis. Yeah! So yeah, thank you so much for coming. It was really fun, and we'll start on the new episode on Friday. Yeah. Okay. Let us wait a minute. Okay. There's some names. Oh, okay. Let us raid someone else today. Because I see that there's some people who are playing Tears of Themis 2. So yeah. Okay, let me bring out my end slate. But yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming. Today I had a lot of fun, and I'll see you on Friday. Okay, bye-bye. Bye. Oh yeah, wait, we're gonna rate. Yeah, I can't say bye. Wait, I'm sorry. I'm stupid. Wait, no. Thanks for the stream, Sen. Thank you. Thank you for coming and hanging out with me today. Okay. Let me... I forgot to. Whoops. Okay. So we're gonna be rating a streamer called Tala Pop, and she is currently playing Tears of Themis 2, and the good thing is that her title says Artem can step on me anytime, so she's definitely an Artem stan, just like me. Yeah, okay, thank you, bye bye. We're gonna rate now. Bye.